What's going on, everybody? This is Brews and Ball Sports Podcast. I'm here with the Brew Crew. I'm Dave.
What's up? It's Matt.
Tim. Guido here.
And we're going to go over a Super Bowl 59 recap that we didn't get to go over Thursday. We're going to go over the UFC fight night that happened recently. We're going to go over USA versus Canada hockey matchup.
Fuck yeah, go USA.
And we're going to go over the NBA All-Star Weekend. So let's all start by cracking our brewskis.
Cheers, fellas.
All right. So Super Bowl 59. We went over, dabbled up a little bit Thursday. We didn't have you on, Matt. So what is your opinion? Like I asked them that first. What's your opinion on the Super Bowl itself?
I think we have to start addressing Philly as they have one of the best front offices in football in my mind. You know, they hit on the draft, they hit on free agency, and it showed in the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
You know, we all know my feelings on Jalen Hurts, but you can't dispute 2 Super Bowl appearances.
What are we drinking right now?
We're drinking some Philly Bud Light.
Philly Bud Light.
And I can't fuck with the Bud Light, but I'm gonna go with a Goes Hose. Pretty solid. Like David said last time he had it. Nice little cantaloupe flavor, you know. Solid beer.
But yeah, no, it's just like I'm not a Jalen Hurts guy. I still don't like Jalen Hurts, but I gotta respect it. You know, I mean, I think he had 74 yards on the ground as well.
Yeah,
they're big impact
like
yards.
15, 20, 10.
Yeah.
Like you just kept getting out of the pocket, moving those chains.
And when I say the front office is so good, it's like look at how they drafted the defense. Look at how they got Saquon. And Saquon was already that guy,
right?
but now Saquon's a different guy,
But
a different level.
But with Saquon being in the Super Bowl, it kind of didn't show up.
It didn't really show up.
Mhm.
And that's the best part about it. Like in my mind, Saquon's still their best weapon.
Oh yeah,
And they did not need Saquon to even win that game.
Exactly.
Well, no, but I think they needed him because it took all the pressure and distraction off the wide receivers.
Oh
So
yeah.
the defense game plan just let's stop Saquon.
Yep.
And Hurts decided to ball out.
Yeah.
So they needed Saquon out there.
Yeah.
And just that defense in general for Philly, you know, it's just like it's insane. Who would have guessed DeJean to have a pick 6 touchdown
On Patrick Mahomes on
Patrick
his
Mahomes.
birthday.
On his birthday in the Super Bowl.
That's
and
crazy.
I don't know if you guys saw
Happy
someone bet
birthday.
like $1,000 on DeJean getting a touchdown.
What?
Yeah, they made like 40-some grand off the bet or something.
Oh
like
my
that,
god.
because the odds were so insane for it. So it's like again, you can't dispute that Philly front office is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The team is phenomenal. I'm not underselling the team. It's just without that front office, it shows. You know, you need a good GM.
Right. I was seeing some I think it was yesterday, and like the Phillies defense is young.
Yeah.
really
A
drafted.
lot of 22 to 25-year-olds on their team. Like I don't know if I said this last podcast when we were talking about it a bit, but I think, you know, if the Philly defense can stay together for a minute, that's going to be like the new Legion of Boom.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
Like if
I
they
agree.
can all stay together and, you know, be one for a couple of years with that performance and just how they played overall this season, they could be another Legion of Boom for sure. And then they're in good hands with Jalen Hurts. Like as
Yeah.
much as I was fucking hating on him during the playoff run and everything, after it's all said and done, you got to respect him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He got 2 Super Bowl appearances and he played his ass off the first one. And what was that, his rookie season?
Nah,
No,
it was like
that was
second year?
it was third year.
A third year?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Still
early in his
Still early in his
career,
yeah.
you know, he's already made it two appearances, and you know that just says a lot. He actually came out with a dub this time against KC, the same team that he played before, and you know, he's just gonna build off of it. They're gonna have Saquon for years to come. Their offensive line is crazy,
Yeah.
all big. Like I was seeing their numbers, they're all like 6'5", 6'6", like
They got some big
320,
Yeah.
310 pounders. Like not a lot of defensive lines are putting up with that.
Yeah, and you have to it's crazy how good their O-line sustained after losing Kelsey.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
As a
the reason
leadership
their
standpoint, I
their
mean,
center, Kelsey had a hand in drafting him.
yeah,
So
Mm.
Makes sense.
that's the reason that that O-line stayed up. Kelsey still has a big part on that team.
and Kelsey's always going to be an all-time great for Philly, obviously. but it almost felt like the O-line got better without him to some extent. It felt like that O-line arguably looked almost. They were talking about it on different shows this week, just from different pressure packages. Just because, not saying that they were better play, like the center is not better than Kelsey, but Father Time is always going to catch up.
Right.
That guy's a little bit faster, a little bit stronger, not mentally as good as Kelsey.
Right.
But again, that speed and all that type of stuff adds in.
Yeah. They definitely didn't miss a beat losing him. Like I could say that much. You know what I mean? They didn't lose a step losing Kelsey, so they're still running the tush push. And also that tush push needs to get banned. Like that shit's so lame at the end of the day.
Can't ban it.
You gotta ban it. Like that
Hell
shit's
no.
so lame, bro.
It does make it boring.
You gotta stop it.
You gotta
There's
make that.
teams that have stopped it.
Yeah, but I'd rather
Come
see
on,
Saquon
dog.
get it at the one.
What's the
than
ratio
Jalen
of stopping the damn tush push?
Chiefs stopped the Bills tush push apparently.
That was.
Are we really gonna get into that again, bro?
That's one, but still, even if that's legit, that's still one time.
Legit, my ass.
It wasn't, but I'm just saying, even if it was legit, that's the only other time you could probably have recency
You can't
even
ban
name
a
of that
tush
happened.
push. You can't ban a single play. You can't do that.
Tush push does make it boring. It
I'd
does
rather
make
see
it very
Saquon
boring.
run it in at the 1 yard line than a tush push in. You're like,
And also,
All
like,
right,
so it makes
like
sense.
Stat pad.
we'll bring that up again. You know, all those tush pushes should have went to Saquon, and he would have easily broke a bunch of records.
Yeah.
You know, with
We got a comment.
with Jalen Hurts tush pushes getting taken out the way. So
he's talking about Hollywood Brown. That bum.
No, he said that's an inside joke. That's an
Inside joke.
Yeah.
Inside.
What's up, Hot Take
so,
City?
So on Twitter, X, you know how people get interactions and stuff, and then the interactions will shoot up.
Yeah.
So every time we shoot up on interactions, he calls us Hollywood.
Okay.
Every time he shoots up on interactions, because he gets into conversations with Le'Veon Bell,
Oh,
Chad
that's what's up.
Ochocinco,
That's tough.
and his interactions will shoot up, and I'll call him Hollywood.
Yeah, that's what's up.
makes sense.
No,
But
Well, let's flip on the other side of the ball. Let's talk a little bit about Kansas City.
Well,
Yeah.
real quick,
Disaster.
we talked. So Kansas City being in mind in this conversation I want to have right now, AFC team. We all thought the three, big AFC teams were going to win the Super Bowl no matter what, right?
Mhm.
Definitely, yeah.
So you got KC, Baltimore, and Buffalo.
Yep.
Did you know that the Philadelphia Eagles are 14-1 in their last 15 games against the AFC?
That's tough.
And they do.
That's how strong the Eagles are.
Yeah, and they do it like you remember the games. They do have impressive wins over. They had an impressive win over Buffalo last year, and they had an impressive win over the Ravens kind of
They
this
did.
year too.
Yeah, that was
They
definitely
did.
impressive.
I think-
And then it's an impressive win over Kansas City in the Super Bowl. It's
Exactly. Like this team is just. This is one of the coaches, and Nick Sirianni being a protege of Andy Reid that has surpassed our limitation of previous head coaches under Andy Reid, like John Harbaugh, Buffalo's head coach Sean McDermott.
Mhm.
Well, Sean McVay has a Super Bowl, but he didn't play against Andy Reid.
Yeah.
I still put Sirianni in the same boat as Harbaugh though, as a
I don't
coach.
know,
I mean,
He put everything together. He put
he's
all the
had more
pieces together.
success in less time.
yeah. Well, I'm just talking about like even when Harbaugh won his Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
You put that more on the team than his coaching.
Right.
I kind of do that with this as well. Like I feel like there's a lot of coaches you can put in Philly's situation right now, and they would be successful. And that is not a terrible knock on Sirianni.
I don't know if you put it on it. So that's Harbaugh. You come in, you got Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs. You got a
Yeah.
staple defense,
Mhm.
but they're on the back end of their careers, right? I mean, he was there for 7 years before he won his first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right, but
But
his
does Nick
coaching,
Sirianni have?
his coaching was so similar to Bill Belichick's.
Mhm.
Is that's why players loved coming to Baltimore.
But look at what Nick Sirianni has though. You got
Yeah.
a generational talent with Saquon. You
Okay.
got Jalen Hurts, who's just a winner.
Yeah.
AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, who we all say is a top 3 wide receiver duo in the
Yeah.
league. Defense, we talked about how great the defense is. So,
He put it all together.
I'm not
You
giving
gotta
giving Sirianni that much credit.
The head coach and
I'm not giving
GM
Sirianni
The
that much
head
credit.
coach
right.
and GM put it
There's no
all
way.
together. He gets his flowers.
Again, he gets
He
his
gets his
flowers,
flowers.
but
Nah, they made it look like that the Chiefs shouldn't even made it
Oh my!
Like,
They showed
but the
they were
Chiefs being,
frauds.
I know, but the Chiefs being, you know, you got to put some level of respect on the Chiefs. In the Super Bowl, like the Eagles made it look like the Chiefs shouldn't even have been there. Like, a couple of teams look better than them, and that just says a lot. You know what I mean? The Chiefs, you know, they had their little dynasty going on, but like just with the way that the Eagles played, it's like they didn't even belong. Like they shouldn't even been in the same state as the Eagles.
No, I agree. That was a brutal beatdown.
Is the dynasty's not over, right?
No,
I wouldn't say it is
I wouldn't say
yet.
it's over.
No, because they're gonna retool on the
And a
offseason.
retool. You got five wide receivers.
As long as
Gone.
Andy Reid is still coaching the Chiefs, they're always going to be in it.
That
And
was
then
kind of the same way when he was with Philly and had McNabb.
And they're gonna go after a big name. They're gonna try to go after a big name receiver on his offseason.
Yeah.
They're not gonna run next year again with Hollywood Brown and Juju. Even though you get
Nah.
Rasheed Rice back and Xavier Worthy look good as well, you still need that dominant big name. I feel like. In
Who do you
Kansas
think?
City.
Who do you think they might go after this offseason?
Tay Adams.
They could go after Tay, but Tay Adams
I don't
wants
know.
to
I
go
think
to
he's
Green
going
Bay.
back to Green Bay. Yeah, I think he's going.
You know who I would not like to see there, but would fit really well and be dangerous if they could get Metcalf somehow.
BK.
If you paired BK with Patty, man, a big body receiver, because
think
you know
he does
Patty likes big body
Yeah.
players, and because of Kelsey and all them type of guys.
Right.
I think he would fit perfectly there, but I wouldn't want to see it.
No.
What about a Tyreek Hill reunion?
I can see that.
A lot of people were saying it, but I thought
I can see
Tyreek
that,
came
but
out and said he
He
was
say he's
staying.
staying with Miami.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could see Tyreek going back there, but it's just I thought he wanted to stay. No,
Right.
No.
You think that wraps up on the Super Bowl recap? Ain't really much to talk about.
It was about the ass now.
Yeah,
It's the
it
offseason.
was a chill Super Bowl, little walk in the park for Philly.
one last thing too. I don't know if you guys saw that stat too, but apparently, like Patrick Mahomes has his worst games in the Super Bowl too, from a touchdown interception ratio.
I've kind of noticed that just watching. Like,
They-
he doesn't really ball like that.
They pulled it up. He's like 10-7 in the Super Bowl games.
Jeez.
Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't.
TD to INT ratio.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
he's got to think about it. It's really the defense what pushes the
Yeah.
ledgers for them in the Super Bowl.
You got to remember, Tampa Bay fucked him up when they played.
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
He played worse against Tampa Bay than he did against the Eagles.
Remember, he didn't have a great game against San Francisco last year either,
No, he didn't.
and this year
And
obviously.
then he didn't have a great game against the Eagles the first time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts outdueled him that game too.
Yeah.
So again, he always has his worst games for some reason.
He didn't-
It was like in the Super Bowl.
Like, was there
Yeah.
even like a standout performance by Patrick Mahomes this whole playoff run?
No.
Do you think
No,
Maybe
between-
no.
maybe
between the Texans, the Bills, and clearly not the
No,
Phillies,
it's-
but
it's
it's
mediocre.
50-50 for the Bills game, and the only reason I say that them running plays he had.
Oh,
But
he
then
was-
how
he
much
was
credit do
wrong.
you give Andy Reid? That like the touchdown ones that he ran in.
right.
But that's more Andy Reid because he's designing a play and put him in that position to kind of
CJ
because that's out of his dual set.
Right, and CJ Stroud on a down year with two of his main weapons gone still outperformed him.
CJ Stroud
At
had
home.
CJ Stroud had a great playoff run though.
No,
My
absolutely. He
mind.
turned
Yeah,
it
he
around
did.
from having a bad season.
I mean, he upset the Chargers, which we all had the Chargers being Texans for what it was worth. And then he came to KC and still put on, like, gave a great show
Absolutely.
with
I wanted
not his
Houston
whole team
upset
there.
so
He
bad.
balled out with what he had.
And like I said, it's not CJ Stroud's gonna be great still. You know, it's that sophomore year slump. Every team gets a little more tape on you. You bring in two big names and then you lose a bunch of people throughout the season.
Yeah.
why don't we ever mention CJ Stroud when it comes to the top quarterbacks in the league?
He's
Because
not
he's
there
not.
yet. He's not there yet.
Where would you rank him?
He's
He's
top
in-
10, but he's not 5.
Maybe
James Daniels.
back end 10.
Back end 10.
Back in 10, not like in 7 and under?
Between 8 and 11 for me, probably.
I'd say he's at
do you
7.
have
I'd say he's at 7.
Herbert over Stroud or Stroud
No.
over Herbert?
I got
I
Stroud
have
over Herbert.
Stroud over Herbert.
Yeah.
I still have Stroud over
Okay.
Herbert. But
And
I have
that-
JD over Stroud already.
JD's top 5.
So, I mean,
JD's top 5.
I feel like
I can argue
where
that.
does Hurts land in this
Hurts
top?
got 6. Yeah.
Okay.
He has to be above CJ, obviously.
Yeah. He's definitely proved he is a better quarterback than CJ Stroud right now.
Real quick, is Hurts in top 5 now after this Super Bowl win?
I think I'm
Hurts?
taking
Yeah.
Burrow out.
I can't throw him in.
Why not? You will come up on this podcast and say
I'm
Burrow's
a-
a top 5 quarterback, but when Jalen Hurts makes 2 Super Bowl appearances and is a winning quarterback, he still doesn't give the credit that he deserves, even though you're a Jalen Hurts stan.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
It's just how I see it. I don't know.
I think I can rock with Timmy on that too, because I've been
Right, Matt? Like,
I've been adamant on his pod about how I feel Burrow is overrated.
Burrow is overrated.
And-
like, stand on what you say then.
Burrow-
Why are you
You
still
know what,
putting
though?
Burrow in
I
the
can
top
slide- I
5?
can slide Burrow
Why are you
in the
putting him
top
in the top
There's
5?
only
Mike Burrow
when-
in the top 5.
elite quarterbacks. There's only 3.
Who?
You got Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes. Those are 3 elite quarterbacks. That's it. That's all the
Okay,
league has.
Jalen
4 or
Hurts
5.
is
Where's
number
4 or 5?
Jalen Hurts 4, JD 5.
I'm
Burrow's out.
I'm not.
I'd
I'm,
say
I'm not
Burrow
putting
at
Hurts
4.
over Burrow.
JD 5 and
You
5.
said what?
I'm not putting Hurts over Burrow yet. Yo, this whole season, the argument was that he doesn't throw the ball enough. He can't.
Yeah,
pass.
yeah,
I mean,
no,
y'all
yeah,
argue that he
yeah,
could
I
perform as a
can't-
QB.
Exactly.
But he shut me up.
He
With
shut me
one
up,
game
though.
though, he didn't do that all season.
He
Bro,
had
but
2
he
games.
wins.
He had 2. He had 2. He had
You
that
don't
game
you don't
against
define the quarterback
Washington.
position off of just
Stand on
throwing
what
now.
we say. Stand
Bengals
on what y'all
also,
say.
Bengals
Yeah, I
also
still
lost
don't-
because of their defense.
Again,
Joe Burrow can't go play defense. Joe Burrow balled out on offense. I mean, his wide receiver got the triple crown. Not many
Exactly.
wide receivers can do that. He put up how many yards just against the Ravens? They put up what, almost 400 yards just Jamar Chase
Jameis
against
Winston.
them.
But does it matter all on your quarterback rankings on stats or success and
He's
leading
still,
your
he's still a
team?
successful QB.
Because the whole point of playing football is to win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Agreed.
And
But
who,
he's
wins,
still-
who wins more?
He
That's all I
still
gotta say.
balls
Stats
out.
always
You
be
can't
there.
sit there and now like move the goalposts like, oh, Jalen Hurts now he won the Super Bowl. He's an amazing
But
QB.
if
When
we're
all
saying-
season,
But he wins.
all
No,
season we dragged him for not
I've
being
been
a
dragging-
QB.
I was dragging him.
I did drag Jalen Hurts.
I did drag
But
him,
again,
but
if
I'm
I'm
man
wrong,
enough to say
for
now.
not,
I'm
not
wrong.
performing as a QB. So now that he finally balled out, which me and David said he was going to ball out last game and Super Bowl, and y'all denied it.
Right.
Y'all denied
He
it.
shut me up.
But so now
I'm man enough to
I
admit
gotta
that.
admit it.
Good.
I gotta admit it.
that.
But again, if we're gonna
But you
say
can't
that,
now drag
Now
someone
I'm
all
saying-
season and then all of a sudden be like top 5 QB
You got-
off 2 performances. While one was the Super Bowl, I agree with. You can't knock a QB who balled out all season long and one come back as a player year from a bad injury.
All right, let's
Still balled out and his defense let him
But-
down.
simply.
but good, Tim.
Joe Burrow, 1 Super Bowl appearance, fluke. Jalen Hurts, 2 Super Bowl appearances, played great and won one
Uh-huh.
against a 2-time Super Bowl champion about to be a 3-peat.
Also, did his defense not stop Kansas City and keep
He
him
put
off
up
the field?
30-something points.
But he also relied that defense and Saquon carried him all season. Thank God he finally performed the very final end of the season.
Yeah.
Thank God, he showed up when it mattered.
No, I
But he wasn't
Right.
he wasn't a top 5 QB all season until the last 2
But
games.
you got to put respect on him.
And
Like
if we're-
after
and
it's
if
all
we're
said and
going
done,
off-
he completed the mission.
But regular season, where would y'all rank him?
I would have put him top 5.
You wouldn't put him top 10.
But then this.
But
is-
now
I
the
would've-
Super Bowl,
yeah.
the Super
I
Bowl
would've
to
put him
his
at 9 or 10. I
resume,
would have had
it changes. He
But-
wins.
Oh, hold on. Let me do this real quick too. I've been very adamant about my dislike for Joe Burrow, and I've always looked for a reason to take him out of the top 5.
and you
because I-
found it. You found it.
Yeah, I finally
Right,
I
we got the little skate.
we got to, because again, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He helped lead his team to a Super Bowl.
Mhm.
I gotta admit that I was
Did
wrong.
he or Saquon? Because you had a different argument
No,
all season
I
long
agree.
that Saquon and that defense carried him.
They did.
Now we're
They did.
moving it to a different conversation.
But if we're doing that, then we got to put more respect back on Justin Herbert. Then.
Why do we have
Because
to
then,
Justin
because
Herbert?
we knocked Justin Herbert so far down.
Don't
but
get me
he's
wrong.
He's had nothing around him his whole entire career,
Yeah.
and still
No,
in division.
now you're
ball.
comparing careers. We're talking about just this season.
Yeah.
But even Justin Herbert had a good season this year, though.
He
But
did.
then
He
as
did.
soon as he has the bad play,
But we're not saying he's
But-
a top 5 QB, so I don't know why you even brought his name up. We never
Because-
once
because-
mentioned in top 10.
he is top 10. You got to put him. in.
Herbert's top 10.
You got to put
But
him. in.
what I'm saying is
But
we've
what I'm-
never had this conversation about Herbert being
Being
in
a
a
top
top
five.
5 or top 10. And
But
now all of a sudden,
a lot of people said Herbert had a good year, right?
Yes.
And a lot of people
Great year.
said he's mediocre because of that playoff game, that one playoff game.
Right.
Am I not wrong by saying that? Did people not have Herbert here all year? And as soon as one playoff bad game,
Mhm.
they dragged him all the way back down.
Well, that's, people are casuals. We know that there was a lot of drops that
Yeah.
game that resulted in INTs.
Yeah,
So if you can get dragged down for a bad game, you can get lifted up for a good game.
We're not dragging him down.
But I'm just saying.
Nah, that's
See what
facts
I'm
though.
talking about? Yo, y'all
Nah,
just-
that's facts though.
It's a fact.
Nah.
Yeah, it's not moving the goalpost because it's again, he met up
You know
to
what?
what he needed
My
to do.
next pod, I'm gonna get a miniature goalpost, and we're just gonna move it every time somebody says something.
Jalen Hurts has to be in the top 5 just because
He
he won
has
the
to.
Super Bowl.
Right.
He has to. Because again, you can't put Joe Burrow up there no more. Because what has Joe Burrow done?
Did we include Matthew Stafford as top 5 quarterback when he won the Super Bowl?
No.
I didn't.
No.
Did we? I don't think anybody did.
You got mad. That's like 4 or 5 years. I don't even remember what I did last week. I don't know what I did 4 or 5 years ago.
Well,
Probably
the
not.
thing
I
is,
agree.
He's got a
Mahomes
Super
kept
Bowl,
winning,
Yeah.
so-
but it's consistency
But it's
as well.
consistency.
Yeah, it is consistency. Has Matt Stafford been that consistent?
Who is a
Crickets.
Crickets.
NFC
His
favorite?
QB also has a triple, or his wide receiver had a triple crown.
That
Matt
year.
Stafford's a baller.
Right, he
He's
is a
throwing
baller,
he's throwing the
but
ball.
this is
Who's the NFC favorite almost every year the
Bro,
last 4 or 5 years?
You kept saying
I agree.
Jalen Hurts is a turnover machine. You preached it.
No, I said he's turnover last year. I agree that. Yeah,
Oh
I
my
went back.
God. Where's your Hurts shirt at? You're supposed to wear that. Now you're repping him
like I said,
bro. These
Hurts-
boys
And make
changed.
him-
up.
got-
Make him
you
hold
got-
that.
yeah,
Make
you-
him hold that.
my thing is this.
Show your support now.
I'll show you the support. Okay. Like I said, I'm still not a Jalen Hurts guy. I'm not a big fan of him.
but you got to put
But
respect.
you gotta put respect. You gotta put him
Yeah,
top
you put
5.
res-
And let's keep it buck. And I've said this on the pod before too. You're not elite unless you're top 3 anyway. So he's still not elite.
I can respect
So
Hurts
I don't.
5.
I have
can
J-
respect it. I don't mind it.
I got JD in top
5 is a
5.
rookie. If y'all don't include him in top 5, it is what it is. He's a rookie. He had a rookie year, but he had the greatest rookie year we've ever seen.
So JD's top 5, right?
Yes, JD.
So if he has a bad
So
year,
for the
and
season-
so if he has a bad year next year, is he still gonna hold his top 5 spot?
It'll probably drop.
It changed by the
It
year,
changed
right?
by the year, by
Right.
what you did. If
Okay.
he goes out and doesn't make the playoffs and looks bad, where's JD gonna look?
So now
Not top
after
5.
after it's
You're
all
right.
said and done,
Hurts
we
has to
can
move up.
agree if we're going solely on this year and you got JD at the 4, you got to put
But I
Hurts
don't
in the
have
5.
JD at 4. I have JD at 5
all right.
because I have Burrow at 4.
But
I said,
if
there's
we're talking
3
about this
elite quarterbacks,
season-
there's 3.
So
if we're
It's
talking
Lamar,
about this
Patty,
season,
Josh.
we're talking about this
Yes.
season,
Yes.
right? And you have JD in the 5
Uh-huh.
because it's solely based on this season.
Yes.
This season, Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl.
He did.
You got to put him in the top 5 over Burrow. What the fuck he do?
And you can't keep running Joe Burrow because guess
Y'all
what?
said Saquon was gonna win MVP
He
for the
should-
Super Bowl. Don't take that back
Yeah,
now.
I agree,
Y'all
I
didn't think
agree.
he was gonna win his MVP
I
for
did,
it.
I
Bro,
did.
I said I
No.
admitted it.
I'll admit I was wrong. I'll admit
Who
I
I
got-
admit
who
it.
got
But
your
you
Eagles
keep-
jerseys
you keep
on
bringing
the
up-
side?
Wait.
Hold on.
Last
All
time
right,
the Eagles
all
won
right.
the Super Bowl, were y'all chanting Nick Foles as a top 5 quarterback?
No.
No, because that shit was
Because-
fluke.
But no, also
Fluke?
hold on. Let's put a little bit more nuance. Let's put a little bit more nuance to that.
What is
Where
this?
was Nick Foles
Nah.
at between week 1 and 10 of that?
Right, that's what I'm saying though.
Who's the
Jalen
backup?
Hurts
He
been
didn't even play.
consistent.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts is the star.
What was
Trent
his regular
Dilfer.
season? No.
Trent Dilfer.
What was his regular season stat win loss for the Eagles?
For the Eagles,
Like
this year it was.
I
don't know.
What are you talking about? Talking about
how many
Foles
wins
or
did the
Hurts?
Eagles have this regular season?
At least 12, I think, right?
Who's over that?
Yeah, at least 12.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, 12 wins.
they had a great season. Jalen
did.
Hurts
The
led
Nick
them.
Foles
They have a
one's not
great team around them. They're a great
They
team.
won the Super Bowl.
They are the best
Joe
team
Burrow
in the
did
NFL.
it. He won a fluky comeback player
This
of
is
the
the
year.
first time in probably 5
Joe
years
Burrow-
that the
I
best
put
team in the
I
NFL
put
won
Sam
the game.
Darnold as comeback player of the year over Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow
Yeah.
lost to New England week 1.
You're saying that Sam Darnold
Sam
beating the
Darnold
Vikings
wasn't
after
hurt.
his shitty ass
The
career.
NFL changed the rule for comeback.
Yeah,
you
that's
can't, you can't
stupid.
be.
That's dumb
That's
as fuck.
stupid.
Come back
That's dumb.
Because-
after Flacco won it, they're like,
Yeah.
That's dumb.
So and I hate that rule. You know why? Because if Joe Burrow didn't get hurt last year, right?
Mhm.
And if it's by injury, that meant by default, Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins, who had mediocre years,
Mhm.
would have won it. By default, because there was no other player injured coming off an injury.
Yeah.
So that's such a stupid rule.
And I'm saying, who's like coming into this season? Who would you think would just have a better career? I mean, better season, Joe Burrow or Sam Darnold? Everybody would pick Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is more impressive and more comeback like
I agree with
for
you.
a career standpoint for Sam Darnold to do what he did this season compared to Joe Burrow.
I agree.
And then, like,
Facts.
the other
No,
thing with the
Sam
comeback
Darnold.
player, too. How is it not comeback like with Joe Flacco's situation last year, too, right?
Right.
You didn't have a job.
Yeah.
You came
I
from
agree
not
with
having a job to getting a job and outperforming multiple people at that job
I mean, he took
and
the
taking them to the
starting role.
playoffs.
I agree with
Same thing with Sam Darnold. He pretty much did not really have a job.
He was picked over Lamar in the draft. been shitty his whole career, gets an opportunity of a lifetime sitting on the fucking bench because JJ McCarthy want to blow out his knee or whatever and lead the Vikings to a 1 seed. Yeah. That's way more impressive, and nobody would have expected that over Joe Burrow doing his thing and putting up his stats or whatever with T. Higgins and fucking Jamar Chase. Like, everybody expected that. Nobody expected Sam Darnold to do that.
You had a guy in Sam Darnold who's been in the league now 8 years, right? This is going into year 8, right? Mm-hmm. He's been on 5. This is his 4th or 5th team, I think. This year, he had arguably, again, he didn't deserve or nothing, but from a stat standpoint, he was in the MVP kind of conversation from stats at certain points of the year. So you go from bouncing around from 5 teams and almost 5 teams in 7-8 years that have an MVP type numbers midway through the season.
I'm not saying
how
that,
are you not come back?
I'm not saying that Sam Darnold shouldn't have won it. I'm just saying the rules are
the rules are stupid.
No, but you're saying, he won comeback player of the year.
He did. Just like Josh Allen won MVP.
Fuck that. Hey, wait, how can you be considered elite but then be a comeback player?
Right, right.
No, we didn't say Joe Burrow was elite.
No, Joe Burrow.
He's not
top 5.
Right now, how can you be top 5 and be a comeback
quarterback?
Bro, but how can you say
there can't be just because
you're a top 5 quarterback, but not some
quarterbacks.
sort of extent an elite quarterback?
No, I don't agree with that either. I think top 3 is only elite. Everything else is you're good or below.
5 out of 32, you got to be some sort of good, great.
I do the mindset. I do mindsets like a.
No, you don't.
We're talking about QB stats. Mr. Joe Burrow got 4,918 passing yards, 9 thrown touchdowns, 2 rushing, whatever. 200 rushing yards. Let's go to Jalen Hurts.
For what?
Season.
Just for this season.
I they said 9 touchdowns.
He threw 9 touchdowns. Joe Burrow only threw 9 touchdowns on here, it says.
Last year. You talking about from last year or this year?
That's his injured.
Yeah, okay, all right. I thought you were talking about this year.
Jalen Hurts. 2,903 passing yards with only. He's got 600. Hold on. What's this?
Don't make them stats eat your words.
No. It says 630 rushing yards.
Yeah,
but it doesn't really look like it adds.
Now that's why I like Jalen Hurts, is because he's a dual threat quarterback.
But also, let's also talk about him as a QB.
Towards.
Yeah, but again,
he didn't even hit 3,000 passing yards. He threw 18 touchdowns.
Neither did Lamar in his MVP season.
Lamar has similar years.
But he wins. He's a winning quarterback.
Yeah.
He's got 14 rushing touchdowns, almost the same amount as his passing. Mm-hmm. How many of them motherfuckers are tush pushes? Don't act like he ain't stat pad those.
I agree.
The rushing yards.
But when it comes to the passing and rushing,
how many are actual?
Yeah, but when you come down to the passing and rushing, like Timmy said, there's similar years that Lamar's had, and we've had Lamar top 3 every year consistently for 4 or 5
Lamar's
years.
got 2 MVPs, should have been a third. Jalen Hurts.
But no, he's had them when he's only had 1 MVP, and he still is in the top 3 conversation.
But Lamar still also has put up way better stats.
Well, I'm saying he's had similar stats to Lamar in these seasons.
But they're probably still
better. Hold on. If he had them same stats, he might have won MVP last year, because they're arguably the same stats that Lamar had last year.
Facts.
Lamar had more touchdowns and still more passing yards.
Lamar had less than 30
This dude
touchdowns.
didn't even break 3,000. Lamar threw over 3,000 yards last season. What are we talking about here?
Lamar had less than 30 touchdowns total.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, he did. He had
less than
30 total. I pulled all this.
Total?
We talked about last
Total.
time. Yes. He only had 24 passing, 5 rushing. Pull it up.
So it right under
2023 season.
Yeah, under 30 still.
Okay.
But again,
2023 season, he threw for 3,678 passing yards.
So more
24 touchdowns he threw.
24.
Okay.
5 rushing.
He ran for, 24 rushing touchdowns.
Not last year.
No, not last year.
No, that's correct.
Then that's combined, because it just says this season. It's it's 24 in total. It doesn't include his rushing. Hold up. 23 down here.
5 passing. I mean rushing.
5 rushing. So just under 30. Just under 29.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way better passing yards and more rushing yards.
But I'm saying it's not that big of a landslide, because go back to Jalen Hurts.
It's still above, bro. You're just trying to say they had similar stats as if they're here.
Similar, but it's not that much.
It's still not the same. It's not. No, it's not it don't even equal out. What are we talking about here? We just moving stuff now.
We're not just moving stuff.
new
but again,
episode, new goalposts.
We're trying.
It's similar because
Nah.
they're not.
I feel like-
but what
I feel
I'm
Jalen
like
saying
Hurts
is,
deserved
right,
that top five.
what I'm
Go
saying-
back and watch every
No.
pod episode and hear them drag
No,
Jalen
because
Hurts.
I have a question.
Yes.
Wait, let me
Say
give
he's
you
not.
my
A,
mindset.
they said he's
Read it.
not a QB. He can't throw. He relies on Saquon. He relies on the O line, and he relies on defense.
Okay,
Facts.
Now,
in the
all-
Super
now
Bowl,
all of a
look,
sudden,
but you
and then
gotta
this-
give wins.
bro, in the Super Bowl, he didn't rely on Saquon. He did what he was supposed to. Great decision making
Okay, here's
over
your
one.
flowers.
This is the
that's
point.
what
this
we've
is the
been
point.
saying, and
But
y'all argued it all
but this is
season
my
long.
point.
and
So
said,
what
saying,
are we
this is my-
arguing
this is the
over?
point I'm trying
I'm
to
giving
say.
him his respect. He deserves the top 5 slot
I
over
said,
Joe
if
Burrow.
I said if you give him the top 5, yeah, okay, that's fine.
He has been top 5.
He's not top 5 for me. That's all I said.
But and all I'm saying is I get
Joe
the
Burrow
stats
is
are better, right?
is a 100% better quarterback than Jalen Hurts.
Why? How?
Like,
He's a better QB.
Why? How?
All around.
You can't just say that all around. All around would mean he rushes better. Joe Burrow doesn't rush better than
That's right.
Jalen
Would
Hurts.
have put up
You're right.
5,000 passing yards.
You're right.
How many
He's a better
interceptions?
Jameis Winston.
How many
put up
interceptions did
5,000.
Jalen Hurts
I'm tired
have?
of the
He's a better
yards stuff.
passer.
But Guido, this is what I'm
Okay,
saying.
he's a better passer
So
than
yes,
Jalen
the
Hurts.
stats aren't the same, Guido. But would you argue that?
And they're
stats
two different quarterbacks.
were wow stats from Lamar last year? No, they were not wow.
This
That's what
year,
I'm saying. Jalen Hurts doesn't have the wow
this
stats.
year
but he
Joe Burrow
wins.
put up just under 5,000 passing yards at 4,918, 43 touchdowns,
Okay.
Go-
and nine interceptions.
Go
Okay.
to week 1 against New England. Tell me what he did
For who?
for Joe Burrow. What did he do against New England week 1?
He threw for 164 yards.
There you go.
Jalen Hurts
Beat-
barely threw over
beat-
200
but
all
beat New
season.
England.
What are
Hold
we
on,
talking
hold on.
about?
No.
Look
Look
at the Ravens lost to the Raiders.
Beat
So
New
what? Now
England.
Lamar's bad?
Beat New England.
No, that's facts.
yeah, like you're not making sense.
That is
bro.
facts. That is facts.
We lost to two.
Go to
shit
Jalen
teams.
Hurts.
We lost to the Browns.
Go to Jalen Hurts
But again,
touchdowns
all
and
this-
interceptions.
But all this crying that people talked about with Joe Burrow this year about it's not fair that Joe Burrow doesn't.
He
Kansas
threw
City has
5,
played
only
Denver
18.
without their starters. Well,
So the
beat New
man
England
he
week
led
1.
in touchdowns.
No,
How many? How many?
I agree with you with that. But I'm
Total
not putting
touchdowns,
Hurts
regular
over Burrow.
season.
That's just not happening.
18.
Not
He
yet.
wins.
That's
He
what I'm
does
saying.
win.
Well, actually, no. That might just be all
That's just
passing.
passing.
So then he had.
I
You
just
had.
think-
But all I'm
14
saying is Lamar arguably, besides this year, does not have arguably better stats than people
through 18
every year. And why does
rushed
he go in the top 3? Because he wins.
14
He wins. That's right.
So
why are we
18
not
and
keeping the
14.
same energy for Hurts at this point?
That's 32.
and still way
And five,
under.
and
Am I
five,
wrong,
and
though?
5 interceptions.
But he's not throwing as much either. He didn't throw for 5,000 yards.
Who has a better completion percentage?
I guess the person who threw half of what the other person threw.
No,
No.
we can't do that because I use that argument all the time, and I'm like,
Who has a better
I get told
completion
that's
percentage?
not fair. I always say,
Jalen Hurts in
when
the
I
Super
talk about
Bowl.
Sam Howell 2 years ago,
Jalen
right?
Hurts in the Super
Sam
Bowl.
Howell.
No,
QB for fucking.
but
we're
we're not
not
arguing
fifth
that
on
year's bad
17.
because
We're
we're the
two.
ball double to anybody else. It doesn't matter.
QBR.
Don't
Jalen
say
Hurts
more.
is 65.6.
Who? That's Joe Burrow, 65.6.
That's your boy Jalen Hurts. Yeah, you got real happy.
Why that's my boy now? Why is
Joe
my boy now?
Burrow. QBR 74.7.
That's a lot
Okay,
better.
you're throwing-
He's a
How many
better
how many attempts did he throw compared to Jalen Hurts?
Oh my
as
god.
a quarterback?
This
the-
season he attempted
rating is better.
652 attempts.
Compared to Jalen Hurts?
After this, we gotta get off this topic.
Yeah,
this
facts.
is
Because we dragging this bitch out for 30 minutes just talking about this.
Jalen Hurts this season 361.
Okay, he had 300 less attempts at him.
And only
And
threw
only-
half- and only
And
threw-
only down completion percentage by what? 16, 17 points? Because Joe Burrow had a 74 or something.
that's
PPR.
not completion percentage. That factors in a bunch of different stuff.
Okay,
That's
so
everything.
I don't know
That's
how
like-
I'm not
That's
sitting there
like
calculating
deep
all the
ball
But guess
accuracy,
what?
medium
At the
throw,
end of the
that's
day-
short
at the end of the
accuracy,
day,
all of it.
Jalen Hurts wins more than Joe Burrow. Jalen
Yeah.
Hurts is healthier.
And-
like Jalen Hurts can't help that he's
Yeah.
healthier than Joe Burrow. That's
Okay.
not his fucking fault. And also, Jalen Hurts' style of play is more risky than Joe Burrow's.
Yeah, it is.
And
He's
then
a
also,
dual threat.
He ain't running like Lamar. He's
But-
not running like
He's
Josh
running
Allen.
more than Joe Burrow.
He is running more.
Joe
He is
Burrow's
running
just
more.
staying in the pocket and getting hurt. Jalen Hurts is putting his body out, touch pushing, running for
I
60,
agree with
70
that.
yards.
Yeah.
and then
But
all-
I'm just saying he ain't.
And
he ain't
still staying
full
healthy.
dual QB.
the only point I'm trying to compare with him and Lamar to an extent. And besides this year, though, we
Should've
can
mentioned
always.
in the same
But
comment.
I hear you. But again, besides this year and his first MVP year, right? He always compared to his peers from a passing yards, passing touchdowns. Is not top 3. It's underwhelming. This is his first 4,000 year. I'm saying the reason why he's always been considered top 3, regardless, besides the Russian as well, is because he wins.
That's right.
Exactly.
So why is it not the same energy for Hurts at this point? If I'm admitting I'm wrong, I'm admitting
it.
I'm admitting I'm wrong.
It took
But
one
again, it's
more
the
win.
same.
It
Yeah.
took one more win to change minds. One more.
Yeah.
But he's always been a winner, right?
He has
It
always
took
been a
one
winner.
more win
I
to
agree.
change minds.
Yo, next season he's gonna fly back. Jalen
right.
Hurts sucks.
I'm not saying
He sucks.
there's a difference between a top 5 quarterback and top 5 more talented. There's a difference
Jalen
between
Hurts can
talent.
be put
and
into
top
the top 5. Yes.
But to
Yeah.
say that Jalen Hurts
Got more
over
yards.
Joe Burrow
More
this
yards. Yeah,
season
more yards.
is crazy to
I'll
me.
let the QBR speak for that.
Bro,
Well,
I'll let the
let's-
Super Bowl win
Let's
speak for
drop
that.
it. NFL's
Then
over.
Trent Dilfer's a better quarterback than Joe fucking Burrow.
Jesus Christ.
Nick Foles is a better quarterback.
Bro, I'm talking about this season. Why are you trying to change from history?
The
So,
goalpost has been
Bro, I'm
moved
talking
all
about
fucking
one
podcast.
season. I'm
The
talking
goalpost
about
is
one
in a
season.
backyard right
First off,
now.
we talk about Nick Foles. We can't use that as an argument because he didn't even play until week 14.
Bro, I'm talking about this season.
You had a MVP caliber Carson Wentz that year. He was in the MVP conversation.
He was.
This season.
And then Nick Foles comes in and walks into the Super Bowl with the Super Bowl team. Stop using Nick Foles as an example.
Before y'all get
And
the
Hurts beat
He
Wentz
loves
in the
using
Super
Nick
Bowl.
Foles and
I don't know
Trent
why you love
Dilfer.
using
Hurts
Nick
beat
Foles.
Wentz
God
in the Super Bowl
damn.
this year.
Then Jimmy G's better than Joe Burrow
Why would Jimmy G be better?
because he's been to more Super Bowls
He has been to more Super Bowls.
and more championship games.
That's
That's
you
much
saying
different.
that he's better
Yeah.
than Joe Burrow.
You know what I'm saying?
which one?
Yeah, that in the red.
But
But
All
it's
right.
different. It's a tapestry.
that wraps it up for
Wrap it up.
Super Bowl 59.
Before
Jalen
y'all
Hurts
get
is
the
not
throwing
a top 5
blows,
quarterback.
we're switching over to the UFC.
Now
Now y'all
get
can't. Now y'all
some
can,
UFC involved. Who won it?
now y'all can throw some blows. Go ahead. Y'all can have your wrestling match.
Damn, I'm just glad I feel like I got Timmy on my side the last couple pods now.
No.
Nah, because these
Yeah.
motherfuckers are delusional.
Yeah, because it feels like me and Timmy keep.
We
hitting
were told
the
we were
opposite
delusional
card.
all season.
No, I
Y'all
can
are
change my
delusional.
mind.
Nah,
Bro.
If we change our
Bro,
minds,
nah.
we're crucified.
nah.
No,
Last but not least, bro, you are bringing up Nick Foles
Nick
and Charles
Foles and
Durford
Trent Dilfer.
when I'm still solely talking about this season.
Yes. And I want to talk about how Dylan Booker got his ass knocked out in 1 minute. That's what I want to talk about right now. He got knocked the fuck out.
Oh my god. All right, on to UFC.
God damn, bro.
Our
Holy
first
shit.
fight. Well, do you want to go?
You wanna go-
We can go. we can
Because
work
I
it out.
watched a bit of these matches, so we can just go right into it. We can start from the bottom.
That fight was canceled.
Final. Yeah, Andrew Petrosky won against
Yo, these names
Rodolfo
are
Ferreira.
so-
goddamn.
They're all nobody.
It was
Except
that
for
was
the
the
main
only
event.
decision, or two of them were decisions, but that was a good fight. I mean, honestly, Petrosky won the entirety of the match and just won by decision. That it was kind of one of the more boring fights of the fucking night.
Yeah.
Lightweight, we don't even really give a fuck about any of this shit. Middleweight, right here, just because
the lightest chin in UFC.
Dylan Bugka versus Edmund Shabang Bang, you can call him, because what he did was bang his mouth. Pause.
Did he?
First minute he gets knocked out with a overhand right. I mean, what did you guys watch it or anything, or just
I
saw the
only
highlights?
watched the clip.
Yeah, I've seen the
I was
highlight.
too busy to
Oh, he saw
actually
the
watch Fight Night,
That's a
but I
nasty
did watch the
overall.
highlight.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan Bugka did look good. He was more aggressive, and that's ultimately what caused his fate. He was too aggressive, because I guess he knew that he had to throw more punches than what he was doing in his last two
His
UFC
previous
matches,
fights, yeah.
because he just grappled and shit. And he ain't really do much. But I guess he came to this thinking he had to strike more. He was more of the aggressor in the first minute or so, and that got him killed, man. He got mashed. He overextended. He was lunging on all of his strikes, and he lunged on a strike, kept his chin open, and Shabang Bang just
Shabang banged in.
just
No,
overhand
yeah.
right, gave him the chicken legs like DC said.
Yeah.
And that was that, man. Like,
No, that was brutal.
I think that's his third and final fight of his UFC contract.
All three losses.
All 3 losses. So
And the thing is, in Thursday's pod, we talked about it. We all agreed that Boca was probably going to win this fight. But what we didn't know is that he doesn't know how to throw a punch.
Yeah, we were rooting for him, but
he was throwing well. Like he looked sharper. He did look sharper.
But
I will say that.
And the thing is, all he had to do was grapple. That's his game. That's his game. Wrestle.
But also,
the dude he was fighting against is not a grappler.
Right, but and I was looking at his last couple of fights. He went against better grapplers, I would say, and handled it well. Like he's more of a striker, as like we saw last night. But he faced and conquered grapplers before, so I mean, it all really weighed on if Dylan could stay in his game and strike more. But that don't happen. So that was that. Anybody else got some stuff to say about that fight?
No, that's it.
No, I really just watched clips for the most part on it.
The other featherweight fight, co-main, Zalal had a great fight against Calvin Qatar. Decision. I mean,
that's an upset.
He looked good. Yeah, that was a little bit of an upset. I had Calvin winning, but yeah. And then the main event, Jared Cannonier with a huge upset.
That
round 4 TKO
that
and
was
won
nasty.
and got a fight of the night. That was a great fight. And honestly, I didn't have him winning against Rodriguez because I don't know. I thought he was just old, a little bit outdated, and Rodriguez is a little bit sharper, just striking wise. But it looked like a fucking beatdown, man. It was back and forth though. But round 4, he just took advantage and did his thing. Cannonier's gonna get a shot against a pretty good opponent next fight.
I've seen he said because I think maybe in his weight class he's ranked 5th. So I think is it 7th.
Mhm.
He said that his next fight it needs to be somebody ranked above him. He's going after someone higher up. He's like, I don't want any more of these fights. He's like, I want to go up a couple ranks. He's like, give me the top 4 guys or 4. Maybe he said 4 guys above him.
And you know what's crazy? Cannonier came in and he was a heavyweight. He's been slowly working his way down, and he just fought at the middleweight tonight at 185, I think it was.
Something like that.
So, I mean, he does it all. He's versatile. He can do heavyweight, middleweight, whatever, and he's gonna do his thing. He's old though.
That's exciting though.
He's like top 5 oldest fighters in UFC right now.
So that's cool.
He's 38. I think the oldest motherfucker in the UFC that's ranked is 42.
Who's that?
I don't know, some white guy. But this card, it wasn't too many
it wasn't
real names on here. But I will say that we are gonna start going over UFC and all that kind of stuff like boxing. We like Gervonta Davis, just hometown guy.
Yes,
so
sir.
we'll be talking about that fight more when it comes down to later February, getting ready for March 1st.
Yeah.
And just other UFC fight nights. So y'all stay tuned for that. We'll definitely, that's something good to talk about.
Absolutely. And UFC is exciting. I mean,
UFC.
You're just watching people get knocked out.
Yeah. And I watch it a lot, and that's just something we don't cover, but
yeah,
we're going to definitely start doing that more.
No, absolutely. All right. On the USA versus Canada hockey. Did anybody get to actually see the clips or anything?
I just saw
first 9 seconds. They said there was 3 brawls.
Bro, I'm not even
brutal beatdowns.
Let's not talk about that just yet.
Every Canadian got knocked the fuck out.
Let's talk about the fucking disrespect at the beginning. That's why it all came down to this.
Yes, sir.
You can't disrespect the anthem.
That's right. And this is the anthem right now.
Star Spangled Banner, baby. Go USA. Canada had a whoop, like an ass whooping waiting for him when them crowds was doing the national anthem. And what do you think that was even over?
I think it was over the tariff shit.
Oh, the tariff shit.
Yeah.
Maybe. All I know is
you want to pay the tariff.
America just beat Canada in their own damn sport. America up. I'm drinking that one. Free bird. Let's go USA. Let's go USA.
USA, baby.
Let's go.
USA. USA! USA!
USA!
Beat them in their own damn sport.
9
Right,
seconds,
on to
3
the Final
fights.
Four.
9 seconds, 3 fights. That was wild.
3-1 finish. What a game.
For every goal
Wow.
we scored, we
Yeah,
somebody
somebody got.
knocked out one of their players.
I
Yeah.
said,
Canada
I
back
seen
in
it said
sports.
America's back. I said it said they booed our national anthem or booed Trump, one or the other.
Better
It
get
was
ready
like-
to become the
it's a mixture of
51st
both.
state.
It said 3 knockouts, 3 goals scored on their heads. It said someone play free bird and let's drink a bud.
Facts. That was great to see, man. USA is fucking back.
We're so back, baby. But I don't know.
We don't watch. I don't watch too many
I don't-
too much hockey shit. I'm not really a hockey fan.
Yeah.
Like I'll support the Capitals, but
Nah,
I don't watch hockey.
we gotta go to one.
I go to one.
It is
They're
so.
lit.
Me and my girl went to one recent. It was so much fun. I don't understand the rules, but it's just crazy seeing these dudes who are like 6'8"
Fucking drop their gloves
on
and start throwing
skates.
hands.
Just but 6'8" on skates, and they're just getting it. They're fighting. They're taking each other out. I mean, like it's insane to watch.
bro.
It-
I
it's
can't.
arguably
It's
one
a
the
lot of
most,
fun to watch.
Like you have to be one of the most physically in shape. I feel
Oh,
like, in
absolutely.
sports
Bro,
in
Just
the
to
world.
skate around for that long.
I
just-
can't even ice skate regularly,
Yeah,
let
you just
alone
gotta-
with a hockey stick
You
doing
gotta
all that
physically
crazy
be in
shit.
so much shape.
Yeah, you
I
gotta be
think people
extremely athletic.
undervalue how much shape you got to be in.
Yeah. And like all the hockey players I see got like teeth missing. Like they're real
yeah,
dogs.
It's brutal.
They're crazy.
It's
Team Canada got a couple teeth missing. I know that.
Yeah, facts. They got a fucking beat.
That's a sport I'm not trying to play.
Mm-mm.
But I do hear everyone tells me though you have to go to a hockey game to like
Go to a
hockey.
game. It
Yeah.
was
Like you can't
so
just
much
start
fun.
by watching on TV to really
I don't know. I was
find like
watching it for a little bit.
but find like the joy of actually being a hockey fan. You have to go to a game to really dive into it.
No, yeah, I had never watched the game on TV. I might have seen like clips and stuff here and there,
Yeah.
but I never watched the full game. But we just happened to be in DC for the for the Blossoms, and when we were down there, we were just like, all right, let's just go to a game.
Yeah.
It was so much fun, and the energy. It's like being at an NFL game, just a smaller arena, and it's colder there. It is so much fun. People, I mean, I've seen clips of people who sneak in octopus and
What?
throw them onto the ice.
Throw fucking octopus
Yeah,
on ice. What the
I seen a
hell?
video of I think it was at the USA hockey, the Canada hockey game. They snuck in this fish. No joke, was probably like this big. One dude stood at the bottom of it and they poured beer down it and he drank off of it. Yo, imagine Bills fans how they get
I
off
was about to
crazy
say,
up through
Bills
tables.
fans, they had
Bro,
shit.
hockey fans of all teams just one up them by a ton.
I think Bills like fans like that are like hockey fans are too.
They probably
You
are.
think they're even worse than like that?
Because they got hockey from
they-
there. They have the
yeah.
Rangers, so I wonder if they're Bills and Rangers fans.
I wonder how Rangers games are.
Or they're probably just Maple Leaf fans.
I don't know. Maybe Leafs are above.
Yeah, but so
I mean,
we
they
got,
might be closer.
so we got Mafia members. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Mafia members. He lives in Canada. He's a Bills fan. Buffalo's the closest.
Yeah, it's
to
pretty
Canada.
close. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's a Maple Leafs fan.
No, that makes sense then.
If you're
I don't
in
know.
New York and
We got-
like
we got
there's
catch
two different hockey teams, does it just? I guess they could just pick their poison, or is it
It's,
like
I think it's
whoever's
really
whoever you're
closer?
closest to, because like New York for Jets and Giants or
Yeah, you get two
Yankees and
different, yeah.
Mets, it's just like whoever you're closer to, I guess.
Yeah, because I know in
Whichever
so,
one sucks least that year.
so we know we know
Yeah,
the
you got the
Jets.
bandwagon.
The
yeah.
Jets and Giants are based in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But New Jersey does not. They don't claim them. They claim the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's New Jersey's team.
Right.
New York claims Jets and Giants, and they don't even fucking live near the stadiums.
Which makes no sense.
Mhm.
I've been to MetLife, and there's
Buffalo
not, there's
Bills
not
are the only
even housing
team
around
in New
MetLife.
Really?
York.
Yeah, Buffalo is
Yeah.
the only actual New York team.
Yeah, when you think, yeah.
And then for basketball, you got the Knicks, and then you got the Nets,
Yeah.
which the Nets used to be in New Jersey.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, now they're in Brooklyn,
Yeah.
which
And then
Makes
you got Yankees, Mets,
mhm.
which they flip. Now more people are leaning on Mets because they got Soto, stole them right from the Yankees.
bandwagons.
They
I don't know. I will say those
they did still-
Actual New Yorkers, Mets and Yankees fans,
They're the
Yo,
same.
they are
They're,
crazy.
they're
they're
fucking
crazy,
nuts.
but I don't think
Fuck
they
you,
ban. I think
motherfucker.
They don't fight each other.
you,
They live across the
motherfucker.
street from each other and will fight over Yankees and Mets.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, y'all live in the same neighborhood.
and that's like the one sport in that area too that they don't bandwagon. I think either. I think if you're a New York
Yeah, if
fan,
you're
no
from a certain
matter
part-
If you're
You're
Mets,
Mets.
if you're
You're New York.
Brooklyn,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it's Brooklyn's Mets, right?
They don't like if,
And then
if
Bronx
you're
is
one day a
Yankees,
yeah,
Mets
sure.
fan and then one day a Yankees
Yeah,
fan.
they're not
Like,
gonna-
it's
you
like-
pick one or the other,
Yeah.
motherfucker, and you cannot switch.
You
do
pick
that with
your
the other
side, you
teams
stick
without
with it,
that.
or else we got beef.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
There's
not
some
with
about it.
baseball.
But that's, I mean,
I'm more of a. I root for the Mets just because it's fuck the Yankees.
Oh
Oh, it's
Just
always,
because
yeah.
I'm a
Always.
Orioles fan, so I'll root for the Mets. Plus, one of my homeboys from Basic, he's a Mets fan, and shout out my boy Jarena. I got to go see a Mets game with him, but yeah, he's a big Mets
I heard the
fan.
Mets
so I
Stadium's
rate
really
for him.
nice, though.
Yeah, the Mets
I heard the
Stadium.
Mets
is really nice.
Stadium's really nice.
Yeah,
Apparently, shit's on Yankee Stadium.
My dad went to the Astros, and he said that was awesome.
That stadium.
Yeah,
I
that
played
looks crazy.
against the Astros in the show, and the stadium.
I thought he was about to say like he played in
Nice.
fucking
Wait, what'd you
Houston
do?
in the stadium.
What'd you do?
You talking about the show?
No,
Bro,
I'm serious. The
if
stadium
we're
looks
talking like
fucking
that,
great.
I've played in every NFL stadium, every college
Nah, bro,
stadium,
there's-
every MLB
I mean, like
stadium.
from a standpoint and then seeing
No, it
videos
is-
and
yeah.
stuff. Yes, the stadium looks.
So you saw
beautiful.
videos, so you went?
Just like
No,
Tampa
he's never
Bay
been-
Stadium.
he's never
I've
in
been to
videos
space.
looks
I've seen
beautiful.
videos
It does,
of space,
it does,
too.
it does. Well, that's like the
Tampa Bay-
Buccaneers. I went to the
Buccaneer
Buccaneers
Stadium looks beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
But just the way you started off as if you were like there.
Yeah,
I was there.
So when I do when I play the game, when I play the game,
I walked on the moon
When
because
I-
I saw a video of
when
a
I
moon
do play
landing
the
for an
game,
hour. the other day.
I see the stadium. I'm like, all right, I want to look at actual videos of these stadiums, and they look nice. Like Pittsburgh Pirates Stadium looks fucking great.
Yeah, I know. I get you. It's just the way you started off. Like, yeah, when I was there.
Yeah,
I was like- I was
like
like-
crazy
yeah.
shit. Yeah, I
World
just
of
played,
Warcraft one
um,
time.
Yeah, I played a light game, something easy.
So
You
I
guys see
played. So
that
I played
new,
the show,
uh,
and I was playing as the Orioles. And the stadium looked great.
Dude,
But I've
that,
never been to Camden Yards.
that laser blade from Halo, man, is a lot
Yeah,
heavier
that's right.
than what it looks like.
Oh,
Because when I was in the game and I
All
played,
right. All right.
it was kind of.
I shot the Barry
Alright.
50 cal on MLB2, and
That's
that
right.
bitch was heavy because my I couldn't run as fast if I had the
Yeah.
MP7 in my hand.
I scored 73 and a quarter in the Knicks game one time. And I had to
That's
just
right.
sit on the side afterwards as they were chanting.
You guys check out that new Las Vegas stadium. It's so nice. It's in the dome and everything. I've seen it on Madden.
I seen the dome in the back row. I was playing my game. Like, what are we talking
That's right.
about? I respect it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cowboy Stadium's nice when you open up the doors.
That's-
outside.
I do-
I've seen videos. That stadium looks like shit.
I heard
Really?
was it
Looks
Cowboys
like
Stadium?
shit.
One of them had panels falling at one point.
It was Cowboys.
Was it?
Because
Yeah.
I was planning on
It looked
because
like shit.
that's where they're going to have one of the World Cup games for the next World Cup, and I was thinking about going to Dallas.
I'm excited.
They
I
said
want to catch a
AT&T
game.
Stadium.
Dude,
They
there's so
only
many.
get people like coming in, like teams and all,
Mhm.
because they're AT&T Stadium.
Yeah.
You know? But the stadium's dog shit.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because they're like the most profited
It's Jerry Jones,
NFL
dude.
team in the
It's
league.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah, like,
Plus,
they're-
they also
are
have-
worth
do
the
shit.
You can
most.
watch the players like work like a lot of people go for the whole zoo aspect because don't they have like
Mhm.
all the windows open where
Yeah.
you actually watch like the players working out? I don't want to watch another dude work out, but I mean I can see from like
Jerry Jones does. he
I
cares
can
about
see
the
from like
man,
maybe like
though.
from a
That's the only
fan
thing he
standpoint,
cares
if you
about.
like
You were
Dallas
looking in the locker
and you want to go to Dallas and you want to see Dak Prescott 10 feet away sweating, I guess maybe that's interesting.
So you're gonna go to.
But
you're
I don't
gonna
know.
go
If
to
it
the
was
World
Josh
Cup.
Allen, you might watch.
So you're gonna go to the World Cup
Hey.
and go to the locker room and watch them work out, huh?
I'm not gonna watch the
You're
locker.
gonna
I want to
watch
watch the
the
World Cup because I heard soccer games, especially World Cup games, are insane.
Soccer fans
Apparently-
are
apparently,
yeah,
international, not here. Here, I mean, they might be pretty good.
Bro, one of my
But,
homeboys
like, other
said like
countries-
soccer fans like
They're crazy.
that's like
dude.
game,
They're crazy.
like game
You-
shit.
That
You
is
have
like the
to
legit
Like
rivalry.
literally,
Dude,
like
like I have a
They
bunch
joke.
of friends that are
Brazil-
soccer fans
Brazil's
that play
big into,
soccer,
like, fucking fighting over that shit.
and they got to get up at 2 in the morning. 3 in the
Yeah.
morning. They have a 6 o'clock 9 to 5 business job, like getting up like a 9 to 5 at 6 a.m. But they're still up at 2 a.m. every day watching the game because they have to watch it at 2 or 4 or
That's
5
something.
or 7.
That is
or
something. That's
8.
like a gang you're born into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever your family reps is the team you support,
There is no
and they are serious. Like,
changing.
there's actually a movie I watched in high school. I think it's called The Green Street Hooligan. It's like 2 soccer clubs, and it's like sort of based off of like what really happens in England. Bro, it's great. It's like,
Yeah.
They meet up and gang fight each other over like their clubs that they support. But it's serious. Like Europe, bro, they take it serious.
Dude, and then like I support Chelsea just because as a casual, just because all my friends are Chelsea fans. But when I've gone to like bars for like Chelsea games around here and stuff, dude, they get wild, man.
It's crazy.
And it's like as
There's
packed
a-
as like, dude, it's almost as packed, more packed than NFL games when the Ravens are playing.
There's a
literally
restaurant.
sometimes.
I agree.
A couple blocks down, it's called the Post, or a German restaurant. They
Mhm.
will not show NFL games, but they will show the World Cup, and they said it gets pretty packed.
Oh yeah.
I want to go to World Cup games
Like,
so bad, and
Let's
there's
be
gonna be so many
honest.
opportunities.
We love the Super Bowl. The World Cup is way bigger than the Super Bowl.
It's
Yeah.
because it's
It's
whole
just
world.
it's here. Like the World Cup is.
But
And we're
like,
having it
the
here. We're
world,
having
yeah.
it here now, which is
And
amazing.
Me and Brian were talking about that, and the wildfires in California kind of put a hinder on the California actually hosting a World Cup game.
Yeah.
I think it was part of the plan, but that's
So,
a conspiracy.
They're talking about M&T Bank. That's one of the names that were mentioned.
Yep.
Stop.
But they're
I
gonna
don't-
have ones even closer. Like
The
they're gonna
bank's
have
not
in
big
New
enough,
York and
though.
everything too. They're gonna have a bunch of like very close local.
Have they
ones.
not had? I thought they had
They've
soccer games
they've
there
had
before.
soccer games, but
They're
not
not
on
gonna
the
be able to
level of
host
the
a
World Cup.
They're not gonna be able to host.
Baltimore is
It's
not a
like
big enough city to handle that amount of people coming in.
You got to think about it. Like when they
What do you
host the
mean?
games,
They
no,
sell tickets and that's it. They can't have more than what's
bro,
seated.
there's gonna be people outside. Dude.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
it's gonna be
what?
like, it's
People don't care
different.
about going to the game. Just being like tailgating
Yeah.
for the World Cup, hitting
Yeah,
the
I
local
guess that is a
bars.
lot.
dude.
Like this, the city would be so overwhelmed with the amount of fans coming in.
Yeah.
So
Like it's
and
like
then-
it's different
well,
when they have like
why don't you go to Jersey?
what's that?
They're the actual number one team that's mentioned is East Rutherford.
Yeah.
Is the number one team on that list that will take LA's spot if they have to.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, we can go. I'll go anywhere. It doesn't even matter. I just want to go to
Yeah,
Dallas
I'll
just to see the Dallas.
Bro, even if I don't
I
go
just want to see a
game,
World Cup
I'll
game.
go sit in the fucking parking lot
Yeah.
and watch my
Because-
the energy that they soccer fans bring for their team.
They throw each other through tables.
I mean, we just got hyped up for USA beating Canada. We don't watch hockey. Imagine if you're a diehard hockey fan or soccer fan. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
bro,
crazy.
this means
And
everything.
it's different when M&T like hosted like Arsenal and whatnot and other teams that play because
Yeah.
all you're bringing in is Arsenal fans and whoever
And
they're playing.
most of it is
If
it's
it's US
American fans.
Yeah.
Like, they're not really coming across just to watch their team play in America.
Right.
Yeah, I really hope
It's
I
to
can see.
build viewership here.
I want to see US play, but I also really want to see Japan play too. Because I follow the World Cup
So
a
a lot of
lot,
people are saying
and Japan
Germany.
is I love
Germany's
the way
always a heavy favorite.
Germany's always favored, but Japan's such like I watched them last World Cup.
Mhm.
I'm a soccer guy. I loved what Japan was doing. They were the most exciting team, and they're so young.
Didn't USA women's won last year, right?
The women's has always been like
They're always
yeah,
very.
our
competitive.
women's team has always been like top of it all. I think
They won the last one. They did win.
Did they win last
I'm
one?
pretty sure they won the last one.
They won. I mean, they won.
They
shit
win,
ton of
yeah.
them.
Mhm.
But our
They can
USA,
kick the ball.
the US men's can't keep up. The rest of the world, it's just.
Well,
Yeah,
I think,
they're
I
getting
think
better.
last year was
We're getting
they were
better.
great
Yeah,
last
they're
year,
getting
but
better.
They just didn't win it.
Who's
They're
your
getting
thing?
better.
The US. I mean, soccer's what? Maybe the fourth most popular sport.
Yeah.
I mean, you got
You got football,
football, MLB,
basketball,
basketball.
Yep. And then
hockey.
soccer.
I mean, even I would say UFC's even bigger than soccer is here.
I mean, UFC is global.
Yeah. So I would say even
well, I mean, soccer.
well, soccer's the
the
but I'm
most.
saying just for the
Soccer's
states.
the
Right.
biggest.
Right,
sport
but in
the world.
US, I think
I think there might even be more UFC fans.
Yeah, there's more.
people wanting to do the UFC than. I don't know.
There's more people that want to play soccer than do the UFC. There's probably
Yeah, but
more
not-
fans to watch.
Yeah,
But I
that's-
mean,
that's what
with soccer, just you think about it, like that's the sport that parents put their kids in as when they're a kid,
Yeah.
just to figure out if they want to play or not. Like
Yeah.
that's like the go-to
Yeah.
sport just to throw your kid.
But just
into
like imagine
soccer.
if we could get some of like the top talents we have in like other leagues. What do they play? Like Tyreek
got
Hill
Messi.
playing soccer.
You got Messi now, and
No, but I'm talking like American for the U.S. team
yeah,
for the World Cup. Like imagine we brought in some of those other like if Tyreek never picked up a football and kicked a soccer ball. Look how fast that man is.
right.
He would be nasty. LeBron could be a goalie. My man 6'8", got crazy hands, agile. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
but
my-
that's
my-
just not one of
my
our top
nephew-
sports.
his dad is like 6'7".
Mhm.
I'm not saying Tyreek can't
And
do
he,
it.
he plays
No, yeah.
he plays goalie on his team,
Yeah.
and he's a tall fucking kid for 4 years old.
My buddy Quantrell that I played soccer with in high school, I told you he played for DC United for a little bit, and he plays for the Baltimore. He played for the USA U18 team for a while. Like he played in India, other countries like that. He now plays for the Baltimore Blast. My man's like 6'6". It's a big dude,
Yeah.
and I mean in the goal, he is nasty. You can't score him. Like he's insane.
Mhm. That's why Baltimore Blast have been running shit for like 20 years.
Yeah, like Baltimore Blast has been the number one U.S. indoor soccer team for like probably 4 years.
Well, you know-
like they just run it.
You know, Brucey tried out for Ohio's
Did
indoor
he?
professional
Did he
team.
make it?
Yeah,
Did he?
he didn't.
Oh.
It didn't make enough money.
Oh
for him to quit
shit!
his
But he
own
still
job.
made it though. That's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
He went because he's from Ohio and he tried it. A lot of people don't realize how bad the pay scale is, kind of.
Oh, yeah,
compared to
yeah, it's-
professionals.
Like you got to have a 9 to 5 and then
Yeah.
play the game.
But no, and then real quick with the Tyreek Hill thing. Not saying Tyreek Hill couldn't do it, But we also got to understand and put a little bit of respect on the amount of stamina. There's a difference between speed and stamina.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we talk about hockey, it's not as demanding as
You
hockey,
can't-
but from an in shape standpoint, they're probably the second most in shape you got to be in
You
soccer.
can't jump in and out.
Yeah.
from
You gotta be
bench.
able to
Like
run
soccer, you're running
90
80
minutes.
minutes straight
80
at a
minutes.
minimum if you're not getting subbed out,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
and it's a lot more. I'm going to be honest. We had a debate about this the other day with a couple of my buddies. I honestly think soccer is more physical now than basketball. There's more physicality in soccer that's allowed than there is in basketball. You can't even breathe on someone in basketball without it being a foul.
Yeah,
Like you still can do
sit
the
with that.
shoulder
Yeah, I
check
agree
in
with
soccer.
that. I agree with
Like
that.
you see guys
I think
with
when you
slide
mentioned that,
tackles.
Mike,
Yeah,
I think Mike said that.
I think
No,
Mike
I
might
could
say no.
agree with
I
that.
think Brucey said yes.
Just because soccer is your full speed, your slide. For one, you can slide tackle people. That
Yeah,
alone
and
is
you
more
still put the
physical.
shoulder in it too.
Yeah, you're still have. Only thing that is hard though is both of them flop so much
Mhm.
now. Where it's
Also-
kind of like, how do you compare? Like,
I also think
which one's serious and which one
mentally-
now is a flop?
Right.
Mentally, you have to be more in it with soccer.
Well, yeah,
Like,
soccer.
mentally.
Yeah, you're running all
Yeah.
game.
Mm.
They only get allowed what 3 subs a game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
You get injury. You
yeah,
get
you
injury
get
stuff,
injury,
but
but it's like yeah,
yeah.
and you're outside. You're
Yeah.
getting beat down by the sun, or you're in the cold.
Yep.
Like
Mhm.
the weather's a factor. also.
Remember
And up,
10
that
years
ball
ago when
hurts.
LeBron was complaining about when he was playing in Miami how the AC wasn't working. They were like, "We're not playing," and they stopped playing games.
and even think about it from a standpoint too. Like you ran before, right? And I know you ran multiple miles at a time. When you run for maybe 20, 30 minutes at full speed, right? Your arms are exhausted. You can't lift your
Yeah.
arms up. Think about like just from a simple, just when you're going shoulder to shoulder or pushing off of people, you have to do that 80 minutes plus running
you got to be rough.
all day long.
Your legs turn to jelly until you hit like a runner's high.
Yeah.
Once you hit a runner's high, then you kind of get like a second wind and you're still good. But if you're not in great shape, the running alone takes you out. Let alone running with a ball is a different skill.
Mhm.
Bodying somebody, different skill. I mean, you're headbutting the ball, headbutting each other.
You even
Right.
think about like just how fatigued you are from having to do like
Agree.
say you ran 70 minutes straight, so now you have to do a throw and throw the ball 30
and your
yards.
arms are jelly.
You know,
Right.
and also too, and no knock on NBA, you can show up to NBA fat and still compete.
James Harden. I mean,
You
James
can't do
Harden's
that
a little heavy
inside.
next season. Luka,
James Harden,
they claim
Luka.
Luka's too heavy.
Zion,
Shaq,
even
look
with
how heavy
Zion
Shaq
missing,
was.
it's
My
like
man was going crazy.
like you have to have like no body fat whatsoever to play soccer at a competitive at the highest level.
I don't think I've ever seen a big like.
They're all cut
Soccer
lean
player,
type
Yeah,
guys.
thanks.
Yeah, there's.
Sorry to get us off topic, but I'm just so excited for World Cup coming.
No, yeah, I think that's something we should definitely touch on when it comes
Yeah.
around. I mean, it's in the U.S. It's going to
Right.
be
Yeah.
huge. All right.
Do we want to dive into NBA All Star?
You can dive in a little bit.
Okay.
I didn't really watch. I mean,
I didn't
we can talk
watch
about the
anything.
reasons why nobody's watching it.
There is
So-
a point I want to bring up real quick.
Let's get into it. Then.
Fuck Buddy Hill. Because if I got to see one more time about him tying the 3-point record with Steph, but can't hit a fucking 3 in a game. Sorry, excuse my language. If I got to see that shit one more time.
Wait, Buddy Hield broke.
No, he tied
tied
Steph
it?
Curry's 3-point record in the 3-point competition.
Oh,
Tyler Hero
What
won.
was the record? Yeah, Tyler Hero won. Did he break it?
Or in the first round or something. They posted something. I got to go find my phone break.
It was
He tied
like
him.
most baskets. and
Yeah,
like-
in the first
Okay.
first round or whatever, something
Mm.
I
like
was gonna
that.
say Hero won.
Yeah, but he tied like some type of record either first round or something like that with
Yeah.
Steph Curry.
Mm.
But you can't hit a fucking 3 in a game anymore.
Yeah.
You should have traded Buddy Hill instead of Wiggins. I wasn't here when we talked
Oh
about
my
this. Should've got
god!
rid of
I'm
fucking
ready for
Buddy.
this talk.
Fuck Buddy Hill. I want to start chanting that every
All
time
right.
I get on a pod
So-
about basketball. Fuck Buddy Hill.
Nate Wiggins. How disappointed were you when the Warriors traded him for Jimmy?
Nate
Butler?
Andrew
Wiggins.
Wiggins.
Nate Wiggins.
Andrew Wiggins.
Wrong sport, buddy.
He said Nate Wiggins.
Oh, did I?
He's known for saying the wrong names.
So
Yeah,
Andrew
it's not-
Wiggins.
I mean, there was a better move. I'm still pissed because I'm an Andrew Wiggins guy, and I really like Andrew Wiggins, and you don't get our championship in 2022 without him. Like he was arguably the MVP. That
You're a
finals.
Warriors fan?
Yeah.
Huh.
I'd even no, but like
That's
even though
insane.
with how much I like Curry, I would still probably would have argued giving the MVP to Wiggins that finals
That's
for what he
fair.
did in that whole entire playoff run.
Right.
You gotta think about it. He guarded everyone's number one. He averaged almost 20 points a game, double-digit rebounds, and almost double-digit assists. And he had a poster dunk on everybody's best player.
Curry still.
And he defended everyone's number one while averaging 18, 10, 10.
It's good.
Without him, you don't win. I
Right.
get it. You don't win without Curry either, but I mean,
You're
he
not
added-
there without Curry. You're there without.
Yeah, but I
Wiggins.
mean, he did all the dirty groundwork.
You're there
for all
without
that.
Wiggins compared to being.
I'm talking about the playoff. I'm not talking about during the regular season. We're talking about playoff. We're talking about Finals MVP, which
in the
ties in with
playoffs.
to the
If Wiggins
finals.
wasn't playing, I'm sure they would have probably still gone to the finals.
No, negative,
No.
negative. There's no way. He guarded everyone's number one.
Who was competing in the West?
He guarded
At that time?
everyone's number
Nobody.
one.
Nobody was competing in the West.
Dude, he was guarding Jokic at one point.
Jokic was ass at one point.
Yeah, why? Because Andrew Wiggins was guarding him,
God.
and he put him in his fucking pocket. Luka Doncic guarded him and slammed it down on him. Pause. Dylan Brooks, he was no villain. You know why? Because Andrew Wiggins was his
Bro,
villain.
Dylan Brooks
Alright?
isn't a threat.
Dylan Brooks never been no villain, no threat, no nothing.
He hurt Ja and got him out of the game, which helped us in that playoff run. Boston, we beat Boston with arguably our worst championship roster we've had in the Curry era.
You beat a young Celtics team.
A young,
That is now a dynasty coming.
they were both all almost max contract players at that point.
What do you mean? It was
JT and
Young-
Jaylen Brown got their max contract the next year.
yeah, extension.
Yeah. They not like, don't be like they're
They were
young like
young.
they're in year 1 or 2. Every year they're a
Wasn't
favorite.
JT in like year 2?
I couldn't tell you.
JT and what?
Wasn't JT in
Oh, I
year
thought you
2?
meant this year. No. JT's been in the league for a while, dude. JT's been in the league now for at least 6 to 7 years, I think.
Yeah,
Really?
the Warriors
Yeah,
won.
it's been that
what,
long?
3-4 years ago?
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah,
so he was in year 3.
Year 3 going to year 4.
Okay.
But fuck trading Andrew Wiggins. I wish we would have traded Buddy Hill instead. Throw Draymond Green in as well because I'm tired of him.
He caused too many problems.
Yeah,
nowadays.
I used to tolerate Draymond Green.
He beat up
But
Jordan
now-
Poole, sent him to the bullshit
First
Wizards,
off,
didn't it?
fuck Jordan.
Hey, watch him out. Watch him out.
Hey,
Bullshit was.
like, that's my point guard, man.
only
I'm
week-
sorry. Fucking mouth.
Jordan Poole, if you ever watch Jordan Poole play, is like a guy playing at the Y. He has like no back, like he's good, obviously, but he has no basketball IQ.
They don't need it.
They don't
I
win. They don't
100%
win
agree.
that fucking finals without Jordan Poole.
No, we could have won without Jordan.
He
Poole.
was a
needed
splash
Andrew
They
bro.
needed Jordan Poole
Wiggins.
more than
He
Andrew
did.
Wiggins.
He did. No, not more than Wiggins.
No,
he did.
yes.
He had a great playoff run. I won't discredit it.
No. You don't win that finals without Jordan Poole.
Andrew Wiggins is the top defender. Again, I keep telling you guys, he's rebounding. Him and Kevon Looney averages 20 rebounds a game. And I hate Kevon Looney too.
What
Because,
about comeback?
Look at his.
Oh, you hate the whole Warriors team.
yeah, I like Moody.
You're
I
not
like
even a Warriors,
Kuminga.
you're just a Steph
really?
Curry fan.
No, I like
Moody,
Moody.
during that run, you loved him.
Moody, I like Moody.
Why are you bashing on him now?
No, Looney.
I said Looney.
Oh, I thought you said Moody.
No.
No, I thought Looney. The problem with Looney is he's too slow. I like Looney, but again, he's just too slow for the NBA. He can't guard any of the top bigs because he's too slow. We need a dominant big.
Wait, so who do you like on the Warriors?
I just told you, like I said,
Curry.
Steph and Wiggins.
Steph,
And Wiggins is
Wiggins, Moody,
What about Butler?
Kaminga. I liked
Come bucket?
I said Kaminga.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Gary Payton. I like Gary Payton. I wish we
I like
never.
Gary Payton.
I wish we never got rid of DiVincenzo because I thought DiVincenzo looked
DiVincenzo,
really well.
y'all were dumb as shit. to
Otto
get rid of
Porter
him.
Jr. was great for us
He was good.
for that championship run.
Wizard player. I'll take that.
Bialicia, whatever his name is,
Yeah.
however his name. That's a big reason why we won that championship too, because he had a lot of big guards that could rebound.
Mhm.
We were one of the best rebounding teams because we had a bunch
But
of
do you
big
like
guards.
Jimmy Butler?
I don't hate Jordan Poole either. I just think Jordan Poole is a lot more overrated than what people think.
Oh, no, I agree.
And then Jimmy Butler's
That
great.
year he was averaging 20 points.
No,
and a 50.
he had a great
50%
year.
field goal percentage.
He had a great year, but I'm just saying, when you're the third option, you have no pressure on him.
Andrew Wiggins wasn't averaging 20.
But at that point, Klay Thompson was still the second option,
Wait,
even though he
hold
wasn't that
on.
great.
You said Poole sucks, right?
Yeah, I don't like Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole's best year in 2023 when y'all or 2022, 2023 when y'all were loving him as
Yeah.
he's a splash bro,
I'd
splash
not-
bro.
I
He
was
was
not a
playing
fan.
well.
of
He
that.
picked up on Clay's slack.
Hey, hey,
because
hey,
I
Clay
agree.
was doing shit.
Again, I'm not saying.
He
But I'm saying
averaged-
that year he wasn't the.
He averaged 20.4 points
Yeah.
that season.
Mhm.
Currently, as a Wizard, that boy averaging 21.2.
Who else is
The
shooting the
Wizards.
ball?
Bro, we got a young crew that's putting up
But who
shots.
else is?
They're not making it.
But
But they're
Bro,
putting up
half
shots.
of your
Who-
team's hurt.
who's supposed to be the star?
Half of the team is
who's
on
supposed to be
IR.
the
Their
star?
whole
with
team
it?
is hurt. It's just
That's right.
Embiid. Shut up.
No,
But-
Embiid is hurt
but with
still.
Wiggins-
That's what I'm saying. He's
Bullshit.
just too
No,
deep.
with the Wizards. No,
Yeah,
no,
right.
no.
Tyrese
No, all
Maxey.
seriousness though. What is Jordan Poole?
We
supposed to do
got
with the
two
Wizards?
fans here
The
that are
number
just
one,
fans
right?
of
So
one
he should
player
have the most points.
repping a team.
Right.
Let's keep that in mind.
How
This
many-
man
how
only
many-
reps,
hold on.
this man only reps the Warriors because he's a Steph Curry fan.
Yeah.
That man
I became
over
a
there
Warriors fan,
only
he's Curry.
reps 76ers because he's an Embiid fan.
Yeah.
and
But-
they are both shit now.
Embiid healthy locks up Jokic.
But hold, you have Jordan Poole.
Stop.
Wait. You have Jordan
Anybody
Poole stats.
can-
What's
Yeah.
up.
Embiid?
You have
Embiid
Jordan
got a
Poole
few
stats. up. Tell me
MVPs.
how many
He did.
shots does he
I
average?
agree
a
with
game?
that.
He shouldn't even have.
I
He
agree.
shouldn't even
Yeah,
have.
if he has 21 points, how many
It's
shots does he
equivalent to
average? a
Josh
game?
Allen's this year.
How many
Now, I'm
shots
not
does
gonna
Jordan
bullshit
Poole
on
have?
you
Hold on,
on
let me
that.
try to find it.
I'm not gonna bullshit on you that. My team's dog
Basketball
shit right
covers
now.
it.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
team's
yeah.
dog shit.
This season he has shot just in total. He shot 776 shots.
Yeah.
He's only made 324 shots.
So yeah,
Well, he's around 41, which for 3-point
That's not
shooting,
bad.
that's not bad.
but again, you've
But still,
taken
no,
almost
there's-
800 shots this year.
There is games where my man
This is the only reason
Oh wait, I
I was
forgot.
watching basketball.
He's not an Embiid fan. He's a Harden fan.
You got Harden when he was MVP. Harden Philly and not Clippers because fuck the
My
Clippers.
bad. So we got two bandwagons. My fault.
No. If Curry would ever leave, I'm still a Warriors fan. I'm staying with my basketball.
David can't say the same.
So what?
Yeah.
So what, David? Aren't you a Clippers fan?
No, I'm being dead serious.
Yeah, he's a Clippers fan.
Hell
now.
no.
Why are you a Sixers fan?
Hell
You're a
no.
Clippers
You're not a Clippers fan?
Hell no.
You should have followed Harden.
Hell
I'm
no.
confused.
Wherever
I thought
Harden
you were
goes, you
for
go.
Fuck the
Harden.
Clippers. Kawhi needs to retire.
So Harden can take
Paul
over.
George is on the Sixers
I'm
now.
surprised you're not a Clippers fan because the Clippers are doing better than the 76ers.
They're doing a lot better.
Clippers are a first round exit.
And it
So are the Sixers.
probably.
Sixers are not even
Whoa,
a fucking
whoa.
playoff
They're not-
contender.
Hey, you want to know the best part?
Yeah, right.
You want to know the
They're
best
right
part?
there.
Ben Simmons was with the Sixers. Now he's with the Clippers now.
He is.
So you a Ben Simmons guy? Maybe
Fuck
now.
no, I hate
Ben Simmons looked good.
Ben
in his
Simmons
debut.
is like the worst basketball player.
Ty
I've
Lue
ever
might
seen.
turn around.
No,
Now on Thursday
Ty Lue
when
might
we
turn around.
had the podcast Thursday,
Yeah.
we talked about Ben Simmons and we talked about how he had.
I said he's the
great
biggest
rookie year.
bust of all time.
He had a great rookie year. He had probably 2 years after that was okay, but after
Mid.
that he was dog shit, and he stopped competing.
It was all mental. It was all mental.
I don't want to hear that.
5 years of
It's a mental thing. Yeah, no. I
5
mean,
years?
no. His mentality completely destroyed him as a player. Like has zero confidence.
Because he sucks, and
Yeah.
the crowd told him
he was
sucks.
playing good. He was playing good before that playoff game. No one was saying he sucked until that one time he gave up that
Prime.
what is it called?
prime.
He
Ben
gave up that
Simmons.
easy dunk and
Yeah.
passed it off. That was the downward slope for
It
Ben
was.
Simmons' career.
But
No one's saying Ben
but that's
Simmons was
because
bad until
Ben
then.
Simmons at the time was the best defensive player in the league.
But that was 4
And
years
that-
after.
two-
There was
that
4
was
years
maybe
after
2
he came in the
seasons.
league when he did that, right? That was
Yeah.
like through.
Yeah.
So his first 4 years, everybody was saying Ben Simmons was good.
Yeah, he was.
And then once he did that, everyone was like, he lost all of his confidence. It just went down. It completely went down. It's a mental thing.
Because he sucked. That's why his mental went down. He sucked for so long.
He did not suck
He was
before
in
that.
the gym and sitting at home.
The
He was dating a Jenner at one point. Like my man was doing everything
the Jenners,
but getting in the gym.
They touched Booker, sucks now. They
Odom.
touched Simmons, sucks. Odom, sucks.
But no, what I'm saying is until
OBJ
that playoff
sucks.
game when Ben Simmons gave up
Damn,
that
that's
layup
fucking cursed.
and passed it
They
off,
are.
no one said Ben Simmons sucked until then.
Bro,
No
I
one
don't
said
think
Ben Simmons sucked his first 4 years.
I've never
Yeah,
met a
no, I
Ben
agree
Simmons
with you.
supporter.
I
I'm not
agree.
saying I'm a supporter, but I'm just saying no one said he sucked until that game specifically. Then he got booed out. Then he got kicked out. He had whatever bullshit he was dealing with mentally. Like he can't play mentally. He's soft.
Yeah.
He mentally soft. Not the type of KD soft. Where he wants to go to Twitter war. KD was great with the Warriors. I like KD with the Warriors.
Yeah, don't
But,
fuck with KD.
But mentally though, he is kind of
Hometown
soft.
hero,
now.
and you're gonna throw him under the bus.
KD is mentally soft. You tell me right now if you're responding to Twitter beef every day on burners,
No, I mean,
where you have more money than the person's whole family bloodline ever had in their whole entire life. You're
I'd
worried about
rather
that thing.
KD fuck with people on
I don't-
Twitter than fucking Josh Harden, fucking Brunson doing a podcast every fucking
Yeah,
day
yeah, I
and losing to top teams.
I agree. But I'm just saying we cannot say KD's not mentally soft.
Brunson's the most
KD
underrated
just dropped-
player in the league.
KD just hit 30,000
Stop.
points career
There's a
time.
difference from I'm just
I don't
talking
care
about
how
he's
soft
soft
he
in the
is.
meat.
I don't care how soft KD is. My man hit 30,000 points.
He's
Ben
a bus
Simmons-
rider, not a bus driver.
Ben Simmons ain't even sniffing at it. Ben
He's-
Simmons is on the bus stop.
That's
still.
fine. I'm not saying Ben Simmons is nothing compared to KD. I'm just saying
He's
KD's
just
mentally
mad
soft.
fucking KD left. the
First
Warriors.
off, KD
Yeah.
made the worst business decision of his life because he could have 5 championships right now.
His worst decision was going to the Warriors. That made everybody hate him.
He would never have a championship if he didn't.
Fuck the championship.
Yeah,
Nobody
am I wrong,
liked KD
though?
when he went there.
You're right.
That's when he became a villain.
It doesn't matter if he
Warriors
became a
were
villain.
running the table in the championship.
Yeah.
We're running it.
It doesn't matter.
Are we gonna let Matt
we're not gonna
decide
say-
who's mentally soft or not? Because whenever David pick on him, he gets mentally soft.
So, Warriors, if they don't have KD,
Sorry,
Yeah, you're good.
say they don't have KD. Are they winning those championships? No.
Wait, what?
They've won before, but are they
They
winning those
won.
championships?
They won before and after. So
They
what is
had
that
to go
argument?
get
Are they
KD
winning
because
those
Big
two
Bad
championships
Bron.
that KD
was
helped
gonna run.
win and was Finals MVP in both?
Who
Are they
needed
winning?
who needed who more? Warriors or KD to get a championship?
The Warriors
Warriors-
needed KD.
or
The
did
Warriors
need
needed
KD
KD.
The
more?
Warriors needed KD.
They weren't getting them 2 championships
They were
without
not
KD.
getting
Well,
it with
all right,
them.
was KD getting any championships without the Warriors?
No, he wasn't.
But look at the teams he was
So
on.
it was mutual.
He wasn't on the
It
Warriors.
was mutual, yeah.
The Warriors won with a much lesser
But
roster without him.
we're not gonna act like
In a
the
prime
Warriors
Clay,
didn't
prime-
need
No,
KD.
2022. Clay was not looking good coming back. Jordan Poole was the second best scorer on
Who
that
played?
team.
Who was playing in that finals against Golden State?
Boston
Boston.
with JT and Jalen Brown.
Very young.
Very young.
Oh
Very
Very
young.
my
young.
God.
Very young.
And then they win the championship. What? 2 years later. So they
Yes.
weren't young 2 years
They're
later.
still young.
So they're
That's why
they're
this is
young at
probably
3
the start
years.
of a dynasty.
They're young at year 4, but they're not young at year
Shit
6.
changes in 2 years.
Yeah, shit changes in 3 weeks. Y'all talking about
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts as a fucking top
Man,
five
Yeah,
quarterback.
yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
all right, we ain't going over that shit again.
But what I'm saying is, they lost to the Warriors when the second most impactful player, not
Uh-huh.
second best, was Andrew Wiggins. He was the second most impactful.
Okay.
why are you such an Andrew Wiggins stan? Like
Because
he
he-
ain't really do shit.
What were you about to buy?
did
when-
phenomenal.
He was about to
Andrew
buy
Wiggins?
Luca getting dunked on autographed cards.
I was.
Andrew Wiggins
Yeah,
for
that was a great dunk.
$500.
That was a troll. I'm not spending.
That guy was like, "Yo, I just
I'm
scammed
just joking.
somebody."
There's no way I was gonna pay that.
Not great.
But Andrew, again,
Yeah,
I told you,
just raw.
he shot over almost 50%. They're in the field, averaged 18 points, 10 rebounds, and almost 10
I'm
assists.
not
And guarded
knocking
everybody's
Andrew.
number
Hey,
I'm
one.
not
all right.
knocking
Well, if you
Wiggins.
so
I like Wiggins.
our whole argument was the Warriors need KD more. The KD need the Warriors more. What do you think about Wiggins then? Wiggins.
Oh, without doubt.
And-
Yeah.
Wiggins was.
But
and-
KD's here all time great. Wiggins isn't.
Yeah, but
That's
Wiggins
what I'm
then
saying.
came to the Warriors and played better. So do you think?
So then the Warriors system is great then. If Andrew Wiggins was the
Well,
second most
I'm
impactful
asking,
player.
did the
then-
Warriors need Wiggins more to if he was a second
No.
most impactful, or did
The
No.
Warriors
So
needed
KD
Draymond more than Wiggins
What's
in
that?
that run.
we needed Draymond all the time. If he didn't have his little, he would have beat the Cavs in 1 year without
He
if
didn't beat
Draymond
the
didn't
shit
get.
out of Jordan Poole.
No. The year that what was it? Game 5 that Draymond was suspended.
Yeah.
We would have beat the Cavs, and we would have probably never even got KD.
I don't know.
Because if we were back to back, we would never would have got KD.
True.
Why would you go and get another player if you're back to back?
Why wouldn't you if he wants to come here and he's a sharpshooter?
But you're not looking at that point
Is
at
that-
all.
Yes, you are.
No, you're not.
looking at
If you're a
every part
two-time
of the
champion,
season.
you're not looking for another superstar to come back. You're running it back over and over again.
Bro, the Patriots won a Super Bowl and went and picked up Randy Moss the year after. What are you talking about?
Look
They
at Kansas
lost.
City. Kansas City keeps running it back. They don't go and pick any superstar up.
Because
They just got D-Hop.
Because they got fucking booed.
D-Hop,
in
come on.
ass.
Season on downtrend.
Come on now,
Still,
D-Hop.
they
now.
went got it. You just said a big name.
They just got belt the ass in the Super Bowl. They didn't even belong in.
A top player.
They
a top
were
player.
going to three-peat.
KD was a top player. D-Hop was not a top player.
No, but I'm just saying that's a big name. And
It's a big name. I should have.
But the argument is though is them going to get another like a new player after already being the final Super Bowl.
Right.
Mhm.
They got a whole new offense out there.
They
After
get a
the-
new running back every year.
Hey, and we took Toronto to Game 6 without Clay and KD.
That's Toronto.
Didn't y'all lose to them?
Yeah, I just said we took them to Game
They
6
took them to Game 6.
Without
You
What
lost
KD
did
to
we
and Clay.
fucking do?
without KD and Clay. That's what I'm just saying.
You
We
guys
are
got
constructed to
beat
win.
up by Kawhi Leonard by himself.
Yeah, that was literally Kawhi on his own.
I don't want to
But
talk
David don't
about
want to talk about that either because Kawhi also put them boys out.
Mm.
that. Yeah, he had a staple moment.
My man sat there and watched. They waited to get him and Embiid like this. Ding, ding, ding. When an Embiid said,
Yeah, I saw that.
Right.
That's a highlight of a
But-
lifetime.
But I will say, it shouldn't have counted. He
All right.
traveled.
Sorry, I got a word.
He traveled on that.
Did he?
Kawhi traveled. He took like
That was
four.
clutch.
He took
All
4
right.
steps running.
Do y'all want to start about the
Let's move on to the game.
I don't even
NBA
talk about
All-Star
All-Star.
of the game.
Mhm.
Yeah, we ain't
Let's do
talk
the
about
game.
shit.
We'll run a quick recap over All-Star Week just because nobody's really watching. We can argue why nobody's watching it.
I was watching.
But
It's
still,
boring as
it's
fuck.
boring.
NBA is boring.
All right, so for the NBA Skills Challenge, I don't know if y'all seen Wembanyama and Chris Paul got disqualified.
Yeah, they both got disqualified.
Instead of shooting the threes, like I mean, literally,
just
they could do the same thing and just brick the threes, but they just tossed it, disqualified.
But I mean, that was smart on their
It's
part.
smart.
I thought that was pretty.
But when the NBA is
Pretty
already
clever.
struggling with views, the last thing they want is a player who's not going to do the challenge just to
Right.
get
Yeah.
more time. So in total, the Cavs, Evan Mobley, and Donovan Mitchell ended up winning. Props to them. They did the skill challenge in 1:03 seconds. All-Star 3-point contest. We all know Tyler Herro won.
Yeah.
Yep.
He beat out Dame.
What a year he's gonna have after Jimmy Butler's gone.
I think he
He's
shoots
gonna
up
come up.
a lot. And then dunk contest, Mac McClung, which somebody
He's gonna
sign
keep
that
winning.
boy.
Just put him on at least on a
He's
roster.
won 3 times now. Like the fact that the NBA is just using him, like you're gonna see in the G League, but when it's All-Star weekend, you come on up, we'll give you an NBA jersey and
They gotta
Get
they
them
gotta be
ratings.
giving him.
I've been watching Mac
Table
McClung
money.
since high school, and he's always been a dog. They need to give him a real opportunity. In
it
the
says
league.
he's only made 312,000 so far,
Well, that's
which is insane for him. I think that might just be off.
I think that was
contest.
just a dunk. That's just a dunk contest.
Yeah, dunk contest. I think he gets paid 112,000.
Something like
But
that.
like
Yeah, I
when
saw
you're the
something.
one bringing all the views, because I'm gonna be honest, the rest of the dunkers, I was like,
It's all boring.
It's all the same
they
shit.
were
It's-
bricking
it's just
dunks.
repeats.
One person first round missed 5 dunks in a row. The other 2, Castle, he was impressive. I forgot the other guy's name, but like he was bricking his dunks and then just
Yeah.
did like a simple windmill. To move
I
on to
seen
the
I
next
seen
round.
John on Twitter saying that Mac McClung's gonna make him start wanting to dunk again. Bro, the NBA needs you, Ja. Like, I don't know why you turning down this shit trying to be too cool.
Josh
Bro,
doesn't
you're
want to dunk anymore.
for the
He-
dunk
he's-
contest.
But he said he doesn't want to dunk at all anymore either.
Bro,
But then he said that the next game he wouldn't try to dunk on somebody.
yo,
so-
your job is to play basketball, bro. You are one of the biggest faces of the NBA. Take the dunk contest, bro. Like,
Right?
I don't know what else
He's
to
not
say.
worried about dunking. He's worried about more shit than the NBA.
Yeah.
right.
Well, so one thing I will always agree with people on is LeBron ruined the All-Star weekend. Was like the first big name to opt out of doing the dunk contest, and ever since then, no superstar big name people have done the dunk contest. You got to think past years. I mean, Jordan was doing it. Tracy
Jordan
McGrady
did it.
was doing
Tracy
it.
Brady.
Kobe's done it.
Vince Carter.
Vince Carter, like, and there's a huge list. But
We-
so many All Stars have done it, and like people love it. You
My
want to watch your
opinion-
favorite players dunk.
Right.
Yeah.
My opinion is
You're tuning in to nobody.
we didn't have a really great raw dunk contest since Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon did it.
Yeah, I
And
was
they
about
got
to say, Aaron
snubbed and
Gordon
never
had
done
a
it since.
And
great contest.
and like that was the last really good dunk contest. Like I haven't even been paying attention to the dunk contest.
It's
But
because All Star Weekend, nobody tries. Nobody's trying to play.
and also
same
what
as
I don't
NFL's.
like is like the NBA they hoe people on the All Star. Like Trae Young been getting snubbed for the past couple of years.
Yeah.
When Trae Young been consistently great numbers wise, like why isn't he in? And he's one of the big faces in the NBA. Why aren't you not putting him in the All Star weekend? And like a couple other guys that I can name, I'm kind of selling them short, but Trae Young's like one of the big guys. I can say that about NFL in the Pro Bowl. Like they snub people that deserve it more than people that don't. So
Yeah.
So would you guys argue that the players or the league itself has ruined the NBA All-Star Weekend more?
I'd say
both.
I think.
I think both should be held accountable
I think-
because it's the NBA's part as well.
But you can't force them, like especially like with the All-Star game, you can't force them to
Make
play
an
hard.
incentive.
But
That's your job, dog.
The winning team.
No, no, what I'm saying is like them guys go out, they make a business choice not to play hard
Right.
when they have the All-Star game.
And the
You can't be like, hey, you guys.
But that's
gotta
the
play hard.
integrity. That falls on the integrity of the players.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I put a little bit more blame on the players. Because
Just-
back when Kobe used to play the All-Star game, you remember that matchup, that viral clip of him guarding LeBron.
Yeah, but
And he played
Kobe-
LeBron hard. But that's what
It's
the
the
problem
Black
is with
Mamba.
the players. They don't have any of that mentality.
they-
That older generation had that mentality.
And like with the Pro Bowl, like now we're seeing fucking flag football in the Pro Bowl, bro. Nobody wants
Yeah.
to see that bullshit.
It's
Put
like-
on the pads, bro. Suit the fuck up. Hit
And-
somebody.
And a lot of people talk about incentives for like the All-Star game for the NBA to give more incentives for them to play harder. Dude, they're already making $250,000 contracts. What incentive more do you need to play harder for one
Right.
All-Star game? If you're a competitor, you should want to compete super hard against the best of the other conference or whoever, other conference, the other team, whatever it is. If it's the best of the best, you should want.
No, I
How
agree.
many you never get that opportunity?
And like also the games that are being played with the NFL and the Pro Bowl, are whack compared to the challenges that they used to have for like back in the day. Like I see old clips of like the quarterback skills challenges and stuff like that. The shit nowadays is so lame.
Dude,
And
like
even for like the wide receivers and stuff like that.
the quarterback throwing
dumb.
portion is lame. You don't even move. You just stand still.
Right.
You just sit there and just start. Like even with the old one, they used to have moving target, and you had to run and throw, and it was more exciting.
Did they even in the for the Pro Bowl, did they even have like the quarterbacks who can throw it the farthest?
No, they don't do that anymore.
That's more entertaining. Like that's more entertaining challenge than whatever the hell that they had going on. And then like I see like with the wide receivers, they're trying to jump onto like a foam pad and do a crazy catch.
Yeah.
That shit is lame, and that shit don't even work out to their standard anyway. So like, you got to keep it simple and what works.
Like, did you see the big glove part for the Pro Bowl too? Whereas like part of the challenge was like
yeah,
you put on, like
that's
a
so
big like
dumb.
super hand to try
That's
to catch
so
it.
dumb.
Like what does that do?
That
But
shit's
just
so
with
dumb.
like back to NBA All Star though, it's just it's so boring. The players don't take it seriously at all.
Mhm.
Like even last year, like even with Jaylen Brown, he probably in my mind arguably had one of the worst dunk rotations of all time. But it just felt like he didn't take it serious.
I think they need to switch it up and do either like a 3-on-3 tournament, a 1-on-1 tournament. Like maybe something where these players are like, all right, I don't care about the money, whatever. I'm not gonna get hurt. But now if I got a 1-on-1 play somebody and it's gonna be seen by everybody, like then I feel like then they're gonna be like, all right, now I need to actually like I need to try and do something because I'm not gonna let so and so beat me.
Mm-hmm.
I was more entertained by the 1-on-1s for the WNBA than at the All Star game. I'm gonna be honest because it's they got a little bit of dog in them. Like the NBA, like especially I also think too. I think the difference between this generation NBA versus older is that they used to hate each other back then.
Right.
Everybody's friends now.
Yeah, that's
because they all grew up in AAU ball and all that type of stuff. Like back in the day, you were on a team, you're only on one team. You weren't friends and doing all these camps with. They hated each other.
Right.
You don't have that no more in the NBA. Really.
Yeah. And
Except
even
for like Jalen Green and Pablo, they hate each other. I think
the NBA is getting too political for real. And even like when I'll say with the Olympic team for the NBA, they didn't even add Jaylen Brown to it because of a stupid Nike whatever the fuck that
they picked Derek White over Jaylen Brown.
That was crazy. Jaylen Brown is clearly one of the top players in the NBA, yet you snub him out of the men's USA team for political reasons, which has nothing to do with basketball itself. I don't know. That shit just blows me, and it blows the fans as well. Like that's why the NBA is short on numbers now. Nobody wants to watch that shit. And also another big thing with the NBA, bro, you can only watch one game or two games. Like for the East Coast guys, like all of us, we can only watch two games. We got to pay a stupid league pass that's too expensive to watch the games. They need to cut that NBA league pass and just make games.
Now they're going on Prime.
Make all the games available.
TNT, so they're not even going to be on cable no more.
Right. Making all these fees and everything that nobody wants to pay, and then they wonder why is nobody watching it? Why is nobody watching it?
Yeah,
that's the reason, bro.
And they don't even think about it as in like, all right, we'll make our prices this and that for NBA fans. NBA fans are also baseball fans, football fans. Mm-hmm. All sports leagues now are so outrageous. All then you got to subscribe to this, and like NFL, you got to have Prime, Hulu, Netflix. Like you have to have multiple different subscriptions now to watch one fucking game through a season. Right.
And like for example, they're doing that with the MLB as well. Like remember last season, me, my girl, Guido, and his girl, we were trying to go out and watch the Orioles game at a bar that we thought was gonna be a regular televised, game or whatever. It was a little big game on like a Friday, Saturday night.
Yeah.
We get to the bar, we looking at the screens. Where is it at, bro? It's on Apple.
Yeah. They had to.
It's on Peacock. It's on. It was blah blah. Like
I think it was.
I'm not trying to pay. I'm trying to watch my favorite sports team, bro. You making me try to pay all these stupid fees for a one-time game.
It's so crazy, bro. The amount of money they make off sports alone, and then to like screw over fans with viewership and stuff. Like, bro, just to buy a jersey is over $100. It's like $150 now for select jerseys and stuff.
Dude, when we went to that Ravens game, I bought a regular Ravens like hoodie, like just black with a Ravens bird. It was $90.
Yeah, like
they're taxing.
They already make so much money,
and they wonder why the viewers are low.
Yeah, their players don't play like they should. It's just crazy.
Sports ain't the same no
They
more.
scamming.
Yeah, sports is not the same no more. All right. Now we're going to go to the Would You Rather. Guido or somebody else want to explain what the Would You Rather is?
So for Would You Rather, I'm going to have 2 players on the screen show up. It's going to be player A, player B, and on the left column will show, what stats we're listing. The rest of the guys here are going to pick and choose who they rather have, player A or player B. Then the next slide will show who those players are. And we're going to go QBs, wide receivers, running backs, and tight ends.
All right.
So
Let's
let's
do
start it up. All right. So this is our first one. Player A, passing yards 3,870. Player B, 3,731. Rushing yards 306 to 531. Completion percentage, touchdowns, interceptions, passer ratings. So y'all look at this, and y'all tell me if y'all need to get closer. You can get closer. I know it's a little smaller now on this small screen. Y'all tell me what who would you rather have?
Okay, that's better.
That's easy.
All right. I mean, passing yards, they look the same.
Yeah.
Rushing yards, I give it to B. Completion percentage, I mean,
I'm taking B. The touchdown interception ratio is insane.
yeah.
Also, I will say this doesn't
Same
include-
passer rating.
The touchdowns are total. I wasn't going to break down rushing and passing touchdowns. Touchdowns are rushing and passing together.
Yeah.
Just to put that out there.
For what it's worth, I'm taking B.
I'm taking
Yeah,
B.
B, if it's
hands
Russian
down.
and
Yeah,
passing.
And that's
I
who-
think we won on that one.
B is
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
Okay.
Stats are similar,
But-
Yeah, they
Matt.
I was
The
a little
yards are-
surprised.
Yeah, no.
Other than the touchdowns, I was pretty surprised. Herbert actually had a pretty great season, like you said earlier. That went under the radar.
But again, you got discredit for that poor performance in the playoffs.
Right.
All right. This is
All right. A and B.
I feel like I know who these are.
Mm.
I feel
Passing
like
yards,
like I know who these are.
4,000,
I'm gonna have to
4,500.
take player
Rushing
B.
yards, A,
16
378.
minutes, so
67, 70, 28.
You know what?
Like,
If
you
I
could
if I
knock-
think I know who this is, I'm taking A.
I think I'm
If I know who these 2 players
You're
are,
just going
I'm
off
taking
stats.
A.
So,
Yeah,
like,
just
who
going
would
off
you
the
rather
stats.
have? Player
I'm
A or
gonna go-
player B?
I'm gonna go.
Who would you rather have on your team? A or
The
B?
ratings
A.
better.
It's not off of who's
but
what.
more interceptions.
I'm gonna go
more
A.
touchdowns.
I'm gonna go A. Interceptions are so deadly.
Completions.
But he also has 44 touchdowns.
the completion percentage.
Yeah, I know,
is better.
but again, you could throw 3
The
touchdowns
rushing
and
is
then throw
similar,
that
and
pick
it's
in
more,
the
so
last
player
quarter,
B
which
wins.
loses the
Yeah,
game.
player B wins.
Player B wins.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
but
A.
I think I know
I'm
who
gonna go
these
A.
are.
I'm gonna go A. I'm gonna go
I
B.
knew it.
Damn.
Baker Mayfield
Right.
had a way.
I didn't think that was Pat Mahomes, but I
No.
knew that was Baker.
I just don't like the 16.
I knew that the 45.
How you know that was Baker? You're a Baker
4,500.
You're a Baker fan?
I like Baker.
Are you a fan of his? Like you knew
I mean,
his
I
stats
like-
off the top without
I
seeing
did.
his
I did
picture?
know his stats off the top. Yeah.
Yo,
You
Jalen
got an
Hurts.
undercover Baker.
Jalen
fan.
Hurts and
He
right.
doesn't like
Baker.
Baker because when I talk about Baker with him, he's like Baker's nowhere near like top 10,
He's not.
which he should be in a
I
conversation.
mean,
He's
Near
a
it,
playoff
near it.
caliber
He
quarterback,
should be near it,
right?
and he puts up.
yeah.
In the NFC,
Great
he
stats.
ranks where?
Look at this, 71% completion percentage.
He balled out.
In the NFC, where
I
does
just don't like the
Baker
interceptions.
come through?
Yeah, but interceptions also.
So right
We're not
now,
looking at
why
tape, but we
Baker-
don't know if that was off.
Yeah,
those
no, I
games.
gotta really.
He's
Yeah,
a
but
top.
like
He's a
15
top 5
plus
NFC
interceptions, I don't
quarterback.
like.
Top 5
NFC,
NFC
yeah,
quarterback.
yeah.
He's a top NFC.
Absolutely.
He's almost top 3 NFC.
I'd take that.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
We're gonna jump over to running backs.
A got more rushing, receiving. B attempts, like rushing attempts.
So yes, this is rushing attempts.
I gotta take A. I take
Um,
A. More touchdowns, less fumbles.
I'll say in touchdowns. Same for this one is also receiving and rushing touchdowns combined. I wasn't doing
Okay.
a separate one for that.
I gotta take A.
Yeah, I'm taking A.
You go A, you don't
Receiving, he rushed more and a little less receiving
False
on
security.
less
you
attempts.
beat him in almost every category, essentially, besides
Okay.
receiving yards.
Yeah, I'm taking A.
Chuba
Chuba.
Herbert.
Yeah.
I mean, Chuba
Chuba
Hubbard.
Hubbard over
Aaron
Aaron
Jones.
Jones.
Hubbard had an amazing year there.
Damn.
Very under the radar.
Low key
I
though,
was
he
surprised.
did have a little bit of a slow start, but like
Yeah.
he
Yeah, but
picked it
Aaron
up.
Jones did too.
And
Yeah,
Aaron
he
Jones was up and down throughout.
Yeah, he was. They would
Yeah,
have like 3 touchdowns here and then
Yeah.
not do shit for 4 weeks and then
hell
another
yeah.
2
Chuba.
touchdown game.
Chuba averaged a touchdown almost every game for like a 5-6
Yeah.
week stretch.
Yeah.
And then I think he got
Yeah,
hurt.
and I think Aaron Jones, like you said, I think there was like out of them 7, I think 3 are from one game.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I made sure too when I went through each player played the same amount of games. So whether they both played 16 or 17, whatever.
Word.
They played the same amount.
That's dope. Chuba.
Yeah, I was surprised
They were
because
more-
Aaron Jones, we were all
So
during the season with like
Is Chuba staying with the Panthers or
well,
is he moving?
They have that rookie
Nice.
Brooks. So are you
I think
going to
he's
start?
His contract.
Are you going to start
But he
Brooks
played
over Chubbard?
but
no,
a-
I think you should start Chubbard. But
a-
You can't
after
start
his-
Brooks. Brooks won't play until the middle of next year. He got
again,
hurt.
he's out
He
until
tore
the
his
middle.
ACL.
Yeah, he tore it again. He came in the one game, played a couple of snaps,
He
and tore his
re-tore
shit.
it. It was back to back.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, I'm still starting Chubbard, but a lot of people like Brooks.
I like Jonathan Brooks.
This is our
All right,
second
that's a
one.
pretty
Who
good
would you
one.
rather for running back edition?
I'm go A.
A's taking the rushing.
A.
B's taking the
I
receiving.
I go A.
gotta go A.
You can't almost fumble as much as you score.
Yeah, that's
Intercept
facts. I'm
the-
taking A.
The fumbles kill me.
Brees Hall.
Brees Hall had a
Damn.
oh,
Brown.
oh wait, that was your guy to be a top 5 running back this year. wasn't it?
Damn.
Or no, I mean top 8. Was he even top 8?
Chuba
So
had a,
I did win.
Chuba had a better stat line than both of these guys.
Yeah.
Damn.
But remember,
Chase Brown didn't
Chase
start
Brown
till
didn't
the
start
game.
the season though. He was
Okay.
in the committee with Zach Moss.
So how many
6-7
games did
weeks.
both of these guys play?
About
Guido?
the same. I believe it's about
Do you
the
know how
same.
many? Like,
I could pull them up.
I think they played about the same, but the
Probably
difference is
12
like
or 14.
Kansas and Cincinnati ran more of a running committee than the
Chase
Jets did.
Brown.
Like
Let's see.
Cincinnati would change between Zach and Chase majority of the
So
year.
Chase Brown played. He played every game.
Starting though.
He didn't officially start till week 4.
Okay.
He had 15, but he's still week 1, 3 rushes, week 2, 4, and then week 3, 7 rushes. Week 4, he jumped to 15, and then from there he got the starting role. Now we're gonna go to Brees Hall,
I
who
know Brees Hall was hurt.
and he also pretty much lost his spot for a while.
Yeah, Braylon Allen was balling.
Braylon Allen was just more
Brees Hall played every
They
game.
wanted to do.
Mhm.
With
Brees Hall
runners.
played every game and averaged at least over 10 carries a game. So
Okay.
yeah,
I think we're also helped Zach too. I mean, Chase was that Zach got hurt. Not saying Zach was looking good, but they
Yeah.
brought Zach in to be the 1 and Chase
Yeah,
to be the
right.
2.
Yeah.
I
That's
just
solid.
expect that.
starting of the season though,
we-
Brees Hall was
We won again. We all hit A.
yeah.
I think Zach Moss is arguably one of the biggest busts at the running back position over the last.
You
couple
think?
years.
We talked about this before. I
Yeah,
remember.
Zach Moss and Edwards Calaire for
Devin Singletary too.
Singletary's had years though. He's had 800 rushing yard years. Zach Moss
It's still
hasn't.
nothing though. It's really nothing.
I don't think Zach Moss has even gotten a 400.
No, he's
Hasn't
All
even
right.
gotten a 400.
Who would you rather?
Wide
Wide
receiver
receiver
edition.
edition.
So B had less targets, and
you take A.
Oh, you're right.
You take A. He's getting the more targets.
More
He's
targets.
more trusted. He's getting more receptions. He has
Yeah.
more yards. You gotta take A.
Oh, you're right.
yeah, taking A.
Drake London, and Tyreek Hill.
Damn.
And you can't even argue the quarterback because
They're both
Kirk
shit.
was so up and like
Yeah.
he looked
Kirk
terrible
only
in the
had 2
first
good
game.
games.
Yeah.
And Kirk had like a 4-game stretch where he looked okay.
But also,
good, and then he
To an
went
extent, Tyreek had Tyler Huntley thrown to him, and Tyreek Hill had a broken wrist playing with the whole year. So I don't know. This is a down year for Tyreek Hill, but Drake London, goddamn,
terrible. I mean, I'm not even
Oh,
a
that-
Drake. I'm not even a Drake fan.
Yeah, nah.
this is his best year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Best year.
They're not like
Yeah,
us.
because he's always been less than 1,000.
Mhm.
This is his first 1,000-yard year.
Oh yeah, almost Sam Tutties. Nice.
All right, another one.
Same receptions. Down
Targets
there.
are different.
Yeah,
Same
A had
receptions,
more receptions on less targets.
Mhm.
Take an A.
They're pretty close in
I think,
and
yeah,
yards,
right.
touchdowns. It's pretty even. Terry McLaurin, Brian Thomas Jr.
Let's give Brian Thomas Jr. a little credit, though. Rookie, and he had a quarterback committee between.
Now I do
Trevor
think
Lawrence and
Brian
Mac
Thomas
Jones.
will be a better wide receiver than Terry
Why?
because he's a better all around wide receiver. Terry's more of a deep threat.
Also, Brian Thomas performed very,
And
very,
he's-
very,
and he's
very
more
similar.
physical.
Very, very similar with a much lesser quarterback talent.
Yep.
Very bad. And
Yeah.
He had 2
he had
quarterbacks.
JD5
Yeah,
coming
he
in
had
and throw to
JD5.
him.
Yeah.
And this is Scary Terry's first year where he actually blew up.
And then Brian Thomas had the twins between Trevor Lawrence and Mac.
So we
Jones.
chose A and we were wrong, I guess, right?
I still like.
that's debatable.
Right now, I
It's
still
a
like.
decision you take.
I still like Terry more now, but I do see Brian Thomas if he could take that. far.
Trevor
I
Lawrence
think Brian
needs
Thomas-
to do something. Like
He's-
Trevor
he's
Lawrence
not.
needs to do something.
He's
Matt
This
says
next
Mac
season.
Jones needs to do something.
Either one of them.
One of them needs to step up because Jacksonville is a fucking shithole.
Yeah. All right, tight ends.
Damn.
I'm pretty sure I know what A is already. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know.
We got
who
way
it is.
more targets, yards, 2 fumbles.
I'm gonna go B.
A is more targeted, and that's for a reason.
Yeah,
But
but
B-
look how
B
much
has
more.
better stats.
B
But look how
had-
close the
The
yards,
yards
are
are on
with
much
way
less targets.
less, yeah.
Way less.
I gotta
on
go. I gotta go A.
37
I'm going
less
A.
targets. I'm going
A
B.
had almost doubled the targets.
I gotta
I'm
go
going-
A, but
I'm
he's
going
targeted
B.
for a reason.
He was the
Yeah.
better player.
I'm going
But
B.
A is because it's Brock Bowers probably, and he likes Brock Bowers.
No, it ain't Brock.
Brock Bowers is
I know Brock
yards.
Bowers.
Oh wait, Brock Bowers. Yeah, no, yeah.
I'm
I
going
didn't
B.
include Brock Bowers.
All right,
because-
so hold up. Before
because
everybody
David's
goes,
the biggest Brock Bowers
I got
fan.
B. Who you got?
I already know who.
Oh,
I
B
know
got
who
it.
we're
I got
talking
it.
about. I would take B though. B
Me
has
and
the
Matt
better
got
stats.
B. All right,
I got
let's
B.
go B.
Sam Laporta and Travis Kelsey.
That's close.
Well, yeah, Travis Kelsey's going to get force fed because they had a wide receiver committee all year.
Mm-hmm.
You lose Hollywood Brown before the season starts. He doesn't even play until week 14 or 15.
Hurt Rasheed Rice.
Rasheed Rice gets hurt. Then you bring in D Hop around week
Yeah, but I went for
7 or 8.
You know the targets. They're what's it, 40 plus targets? Yeah. So I mean,
But
he's
Sam Laporta
obviously the
did more with
trusted
less.
player.
well, obviously
Sam
Kelsey's
Laporta
more
did way
twice
more
if
with
because
If Laporta got 97 receiving receptions, Laporta's gonna have 1,300 yards.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
He would've- yeah.
well, obviously Kelsey's going to be more trusted because he's a 2-time
Yeah. No,
Super Bowl
I
tight end and
agree,
arguably a
but
top tight end of all time.
I'm just saying.
And this
I
doesn't-
think
And then they lost
target-
Pacheco.
None of,
too,
this,
and they
none of
brought in
this
Kareem
includes
Hunt.
postseason. This is all just regular
Yeah.
season stats.
Well, I'm saying is from the trusted aspect where David's
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
he's more
yeah.
trusted. Obviously, he's going to be more trusted than
Yeah.
Laporta. And then also, even look at Kansas City. They lost Pacheco. Then you ran with Steele / Kareem
But we're
Hunt.
also
The whole
like,
offense was confusing.
we're picking these stats based off of the better player,
Yeah.
and Travis Kelsey's probably a better player than Sam Laporta.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
but I'm
picking.
No, it's
I'm
no,
picking
it's
off
not
the
to go
stats.
off of who you know. Yeah,
Yeah,
Right,
it's not
I'm
about
picking
it's
off
first
stats.
blind.
Just
Because-
because that player, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, more targets. I probably know who it is, Travis Kelsey. No,
Yeah.
it's you're going off who had the better stats
Yeah, and
blindly.
I'm going
You're blindly
Laporta.
picking stats.
I'm just disputing-
ass pick,
I'm just
bro.
disputing
Yeah,
I know
every time
Sam
he's
Laporta
like-
has the better stats.
I'm
yeah.
just using the whole thing around that to dispute the
I
whole
thought
thing
this-
about being more
I thought
trusted.
this
Obviously, you're going to be
was-
more trusted if you are the only
Guess,
person
like,
on the
who-
team.
Would you rather, right?
Blindly stats.
Yeah,
You're
blindly
picking who you're
stats, okay.
picking. What stat?
I'd
man,
rather
yeah.
a guy who
You
only
say
gets
tight
targeted
ends.
less than
You
100.
say tight ends, and he has 133 targets. That says something.
That could
Yeah,
say
but who had the
multiple
better
things.
stats? Going off stat
Sam
wise,
Laporta had better stats.
Yeah, Sam Laporta. Look, he had 3 touchdowns and 2 fumbles.
I
That's
mean,
what kills
If
me.
you're going
is
off that, yeah, he had
the
133
touchdown fumble.
targets. How many of them are drops? You don't know how many
Yeah.
are drops or bad.
No, he had a
like,
lot of drops.
What killed me for the stats was the touchdown fumble ratio.
Yeah, like
And
that
I know
alone.
fumbles like for receivers / tight ends aren't as big. Like a lot of people don't consider them that big of a deal. But like when it's almost 500, that's bad.
Yeah.
Right,
That means I don't trust you now.
right.
Believe this might be the last one. Another one. High targets, decent targets. They're still high for a tight end.
Ooh.
Tight end's also a hard one to go off because tight ends either you get fed a lot on your team or you're just there when you need to make a big
So
play.
you got it just off the stats. You gotta go B. I feel like.
I mean, he is a.
His completion percentage is way better. B is
Crazy.
Dude, but
I
look
feel
at
like I know who B is.
but look at
but-
that 55 catches for 673 yards. You can't
That's
even get
insane.
number one
feel like I
receivers to
know.
do that on some teams.
Yeah.
11.
If you get some of these
11
number one wide
tutties.
receivers only 69 targets a game, they're not getting close to 700 yards.
I
on them.
gotta go B.
You gotta go B. I think.
And
you
it's gonna
gotta
hurt David because you know who A is. Oh, never mind.
Johnny Smith and Mark Andrews.
Johnny Smith did wake up towards the end of the season because I did pick him
Johnny
up in
Smith
fantasy.
did ball out.
Towards the end
That's
of the year.
Marky
he
Mark.
definitely
The
did.
11 touchdowns told me it was Mark Andrews.
And even Mark Andrews, remember they used him as a blocker more than anything
And
to start the
and
season.
how many touchdowns did Likely have? Like he was splitting.
Yeah, I'll say this is one of Mark Andrews' down years.
Yeah.
Nice. Any comments?
What we got? Jag on pick B and
Put a frog.
I don't know what the frog's
What
about.
the frog?
Kermit the Frog.
It was the Baker and Patrick one.
All right.
That was.
I like
Would
that.
you rather next week? I'll come up with some different ones.
We might have to do like an
Maybe
NBA.
we
Would
should.
you rather?
We can do an NBA. We can do whatever.
I think
Or maybe
NBA
we can
would
do
be
like an
more
all-time
challenging.
one too.
NBA
For,
would
like,
be more
retired
challenging.
players.
Yeah, all time.
I
NFL.
thought
Like
about
sleeper
going in at the
quarterbacks
very
and
end,
stuff like that,
doing
yeah.
all-time QB, but it's hard because if you do career stats, and it's like, well, how do you compare a player who's still active versus not? So
Like,
you
yeah,
have to do
but
all.
just
imagine-
all retired
Imagine
players.
comparing stats from Johnny Unitas to like Donovan McNabb.
Well, yeah, if they're both not currently playing, yeah,
Yeah,
you
or
can do
like
that.
John
But
Unitas
you
versus
can't do now and then.
Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Just from a stat standpoint, to kind of be like,
Who would you
because I
rather
hope
have?
this, because there's a lot of
But
people
you
when
know
they make
who the
a,
better player is,
Yeah.
but who would you rather have based on stats?
Yeah, blindly stats. It's a different game.
Yeah, facts. Damn, that was fun.
Yeah, it was.
really good.
And I think that wraps us up, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good, man. Anything else you want to say on the way out, David? Anything to send us out?
Not really,
Tim,
just that this is
anybody
the
got
group.
one final argument y'all need to get out.
Jalen Hurts better than Joe Burrow.
Facts.
I'll let you have
Jalen
that. I
Hurts
don't
is
care.
more
I don't
all
care
time.
about Joe Burrow that much. I'm a fucking Ravens fan.
All right.
All right.
just-
Jalen Hurts got more Super Bowls than Josh Allen.
He
And
does.
Lamar.
He does, yeah.
And
He does,
Lamar.
he does.
And Lamar. But
Yeah, and Joe Burrow.
and Joe Burrow.
And Joe Burrow.
God
I
damn.
just
And
feel like
J 5.
I
He's
feel
got
like you
that
picked
one
the
up.
opposite because you're beating your chest for Jalen Hurts like a couple weeks ago when we were on the pod, and now it's like I'm giving
No,
Jalen Hurts
he's
his
not.
flowers. Now I'm giving Jalen Hurts his flowers.
Here's
He's
the
like,
narrative.
Yeah, that shit's
And now
weird.
it's like,
How,
David's
but it's
like-
just, how does he rock with Jalen Hurts all playoffs?
Imagine
Tries
getting
to shit
called
on us, right?
delusional.
Yeah.
No.
And it's still being
listen,
called
listen,
delusional.
listen. But how does he rock with Jalen Hurts so heavy? Had the Eagles winning the whole Super Bowl, and then at the end of the season, based on this season, he's like, "Oh, Joe Burrow's still top 5." And
Because
Jalen
he's
Hurts
not
is
jumping on
It's like-
Hurts'
it's like-
meat over winning the Super Bowl.
It's a
Y'all
fluid.
just
It's
so
the
Super
list.
Bowl.
The
But
list
you
doesn't
guys
stay.
don't
It's just the
shift-
Super Bowl now. It's just the Super Bowl.
The list
the
changes.
Super Bowl.
It's a
Pat
fluid list.
Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL right now, no career-wise. Yes?
Cross. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean,
This
yeah.
season-
This season,
We're
Lamar
saying
is
this
the best
season.
quarterback in the season.
God damn it.
Lamar Jackson. But if I say Patrick Mahomes is worse than Lamar Jackson on X and Instagram and TikTok, I'm going to get crucified. No, right? Yes?
But that's
So
the whole,
wait.
That's
wait,
the
wait.
whole point of this
Wait,
podcast.
is it because you don't want to get crucified over saying Jalen Hurts is better than Joe Burrow?
Jalen Hurts is not better than Joe Burrow. He's not.
You're just trying to say that to cover your ass.
No,
for the-
he
for the
is
next one.
not.
You're-
I'm a
you
Jalen
just
Hurts
said it.
fan.
No, you
Hold on,
just said it.
Hold on.
He just said he don't
No,
want
no.
to get crucified
Time out.
on
On the
live.
last pod, right? Who's the one co-signing me
I'm
saying
being
Joe Burrow
crucified
was
no matter
over? Who's the one co-signing me that say Joe Burrow was overrated? No, he said Joe Burrow was top, and we changed his mind.
Yes.
Oh.
Facts.
You were arguing
I'm
with me
standing on this
against
Joe
Joe
Burrow.
Burrow.
Yeah, by myself, then.
I
You were
just say
arguing
Joe
with me saying-
Burrow's not an elite quarterback. That's all.
You were
Neither
saying
is
he was
Jalen Hurts.
overrated on the last pod with us. That he does not win. He's not a winner.
He doesn't. You're right. He does not
So
win.
what does that say about his?
So he's still above Jalen Hurts, even though he's not a winner and he's overrated?
There are 52 other players on the fucking team. There are 52 players on the team. There are
Oh
11
my
players on that
God.
defense that won that game in the Super Bowl. 11 other
That was our
players.
biggest takeaway was that Eagles
The
defense.
defense.
Eagles
Them
defense is
Philly,
great.
them Philly,
They were
dudes,
great.
them Philly,
They were
dudes.
great.
But can you not say that Jalen Hurts was
Jalen
not
Hurts. Jalen Hurts was not enough. He was the Super Bowl
That's the
MVP
same.
for
Hold
a
on.
reason.
It's the same
He
thing.
got to go to Disney World for a reason.
It's the same thing with Patrick Mahomes though. We
Did
just
Saquon
we talked
do
about it
anything?
too.
No, you shut
Uh-huh.
the bed.
Okay.
We talked about Patrick Mahomes though too. 10 touchdowns and 7 interceptions in all of his Super Bowl games. That's not good. That argues that defense carries. But Patrick Mahomes is still up top. Why?
We all know defense wins championships.
But why is Patrick Mahomes still up top?
Right.
All
He has
those
3
seasons
rings.
and all
He
those
wins.
seasons. Patrick
No.
Mahomes balled out all season long.
The
He
last
had
2
rings.
years he's been mediocre during the
last
season.
year.
Last 2 he was
Yeah,
mediocre
the
last year prior
last
too.
year, no,
Pull up
he
the stats real quick.
Oh my God.
Pull up the stats.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes was mediocre the year prior too.
Oh Lord, help us.
It was.
No.
Yes, he was 27
Couldn't get
touchdowns and 14 interceptions. 27 to 14 is
That's-
not
So he's
mediocre.
been on the
last
decline.
year he had 14 INTs, half of his touchdowns.
Yeah. So he was mediocre the last 2 years, and he still was held up
The
top.
most
for last 2
interceptions
years.
he
So
had
now
ever
all of a
was
sudden,
last-
Pat Mahomes ain't the best QB in the league.
No, I'm just saying.
For the
Now
past-
all of a
Well,
sudden,
no, I'm
look.
not saying he isn't, but I'm just saying is
Jalen Hurts is the best QB
For
in the
the
league
past
now,
4
boys. He won the
seasons,
recent Super
Patrick
Bowl.
Mahomes has over 10 interceptions.
This is a case of recency bias.
Yes, sir.
again.
That's what this is.
My point
and
I'm making
I will
is
not let this take me over.
Y'all didn't
No.
pick the Eagles.
My
to
point
win.
is-
Y'all didn't pick the Eagles
No.
to win any of them games, and now all of a sudden they won a Super Bowl, and it's
You got to give him his flowers.
We have
right?
a- have to.
You don't have a choice. But what I'm saying is, this is my point I'm trying to make, is that Patrick Mahomes has always been considered number one,
Yes.
but it's been mediocre the last 2 years.
Right.
Why is he still staying number one? Because he keeps winning.
So Hurts has one great season. I don't even say great season.
I'm not even saying he had a
He
great
had
year.
one great
season-
game in the Super Bowl, and now all of a sudden he jumps.
First off,
But
he
he
had a good
wins.
game against Washington.
You need the. You
Because
need
I got crucified for that one.
Good game.
He had a good.
He had 2 games out of
but
how long?
But
the
2
season?
games we picked.
Yeah.
That Jalen Hurts
No,
would
but
be
again,
Okay,
But-
so why
but
are
then-
you not putting
but hold
Jalen
on,
Hurts in
but
the
hold on,
top
because we're
five?
not being
This is not
recency
top five.
biased.
But hold on.
We
We're
have
saying this season.
Wait, did we not just say that? Did we not have an argument too at the beginning of the
He
pod
was not
saying?
the top 5 best
But hold
quarterback
on.
this season. He
Didn't
wasn't.
we ask if Patrick Mahomes? Did we really believe if Patrick Mahomes had a good game during the playoffs?
He said he
Everybody's
did.
like, no.
But we still put him in the top 5.
Patrick Mahomes still didn't have a great game during the playoffs or Super Bowl last year.
Uh-huh.
No. Why is he still in the top 5 then? Why is he still number one over Lamar?
because he's been the best QB in the league for how
But why is he
fucking
above
long?
Lamar then?
Like
Not
we're
above
acting like the
Lamar.
man just
Right
didn't
now,
go
he's
for
not above
83
Lamar.
apiece.
Lamar's
But we're
better
saying
than
this
Mahomes.
season.
If we're going off this, just
Coming in this season,
David's argument wasn't just this season. Though. His argument was top 5 QBs currently, as in like
Currently.
their careers these past couple seasons combined.
so if that's
So
the case, then why
Y'all
does
made
Lamar
it
jump
just
to
this
one?
season, which
If
y'all
Lamar
changed
doesn't jump
because
to
now
one-
Bro, we were
Pat
talking about this
Mahomes got one
season.
But
You
David's
just said
argument
Lamar was
wasn't
better.
this
Fuck
season.
what David
Right
said.
now.
David's
Yeah, right
argument
now.
wasn't this season.
That's what I'm saying. Jalen Hurts is better right now. You just said Lamar
he's
is better
not.
right now.
Jalen
Why were you
Hurts
saying?
is not better than Jaden Daniels. Jalen Hurts is not better than Joe Burrow. He is
So,
not better than Josh
why-
Allen. He's not better than Lamar Jackson.
Why?
He's not
Why?
better
No.
than
But my
Mahomes.
question is, why are you saying Lamar is better than Patty now? Off of this year.
Dog,
correct?
y'all
You were
argued
talking
all
about this
season
year,
that he didn't even throw
Lamar's
the ball.
better than
Now
Patty.
Okay, and then talking this year, Jalen Hurts is top 5. He's won the
This
Super
is
Bowl.
my top 5 right now. Right now, this season alone. Okay,
Okay.
Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels.
Yo, but you could argue Jalen Hurts out of 2 out of 3
I
times.
respect
Jalen Hurts
the
beat
Hurts
Jaden
at
Daniels.
five. He beat him.
Right, 2 out of 3
Okay.
times.
Yeah. Why?
So why are you
Jalen
putting
Hurts?
Jaden Daniels in,
I mean,
in the mix?
Why are you putting Jaden Daniels
the
above
rest of
Jalen
the
Hurts?
season, Jaden
after
Daniels
one-
balled the fuck
Jaden
out.
Daniels played better than Jalen Hurts as all season. All season.
Why ain't he out playing when it counted?
We're gonna take 2 games and say, oh, Jalen Hurts is top 5 quarterback now. We're gonna take 2 games after he's underperformed all year. No, I'm not doing that.
But
Your arguments all season was he's not a great QB because he didn't throw for over 200 yards. He didn't do that. He, didn't
Exactly.
throw-
I
he
agree.
had barely any passing touchdowns. The one game when it mattered the most, I'll give him credit on that.
Mattered the most.
Super Bowl,
Exactly.
he threw for what? Over 200 yards,
200, yeah.
which is what you wanted to see.
Yeah. Which he gave. Yeah. So he.
So
met
all-
the
ran for
expectations.
almost 80.
But
So,
so
but again,
all
my
of a
biggest
sudden-
argument was he
With
couldn't throw over
Saquon
200.
not being a factor, let's remind
Yes.
everybody Saquon was not a
Saquon
factor.
is a factor,
Again,
though.
no,
Saquon's
He
a
ran
factor
for 50 yards. He didn't
I
contribute.
can't know.
because the defense didn't give a fuck about Jalen Hurts throwing. They worried about Saquon Barkley running the fucking ball.
Okay,
I
but
can't-
listen,
I can't sit up here and say
Jalen
I
Hurts
need Jalen Hurts to
did
throw
his
for
thing.
200
He
plus yards
performed.
for me considering
He
great.
did when
and
he
then
needed to,
doesn't,
which is what
say,
we did
oh,
and
he's
said
still
all
not great.
season long.
And
He's
if I would have
great.
came,
He's
if I
just-
would have came up here and
his
said Jalen
quarterback's
Hurts was
better
not,
than him.
if I would have came up and said Jalen Hurts was not top 5 at that Super Bowl win and performance and everything before everybody else went, I would have got crucified for saying
Jalen
being
Hurts is a
hypocrisy.
great
Because what did I
quarterback.
say? I need to see over 200 yards. He gave me the one thing I told him I needed to see. So then
But-
I got to put him there.
Going off your eyes,
Off
logic.
fairness.
Jalen Hurts is the best QB in the league right now.
No, he's not.
No.
But we're putting him
But-
at. I'm
but
putting
he
him
He's
at
better than Joe
He-
Burrow.
he's better than
this
Joe
season.
Burrow.
He won the Super Bowl.
He's better than Joe
Lamar
Burrow.
hasn't won
though.
a Super Bowl. Josh Allen hasn't won a Super Bowl. So he's number 2. Then.
I'm not comparing
No.
him to them two. I'm comparing
Y'all
him
said
to. I'm comparing him
he
to
won
Joe
it big when
Burrow.
it mattered
Right.
most.
Why
Like
is
the
Joe
Super Bowl.
Burrow still number in the top 3?
You
Or
just
4 or
said
5,
last
whatever.
pod
Why
Joe
is
Burrow
Josh
wasn't
Allen
elite.
so
I
high?
had him. I was the only one.
Because
who
Josh
said it.
Allen wins
Josh
games.
Allen
He
does
changes
not win
mind.
games.
Yes,
Hey,
he
you
does.
No, he doesn't.
You
He
done
has
right
a
now.
500
You're
playoff
taking-
record. He fucking blows.
He has
Josh
a
Allen
better.
sucks dick.
He has
at
a
football.
better playoff
He
resume
has
than
a
Joe Burrow.
Embiid MVP.
He has a better playoff resume than Joe Burrow.
He has
by a
to a Super
landslide.
Bowl.
Trent Dilfer's been to the Super Bowl.
I'm
like
never
you said.
saying this.
No,
Never saying
what?
this.
You're living off of just
Josh
like,
Allen has
well, hold
not
on.
beaten Pat.
well, hold on. You're living
Jalen
off of the
Hurts
Super Bowl
has.
appearance
Joe
for
Burrow
Joe Burrow
has.
from 3 years
Lamar
ago.
Jackson has.
But you're what?
Josh Allen has not beat Pat Mahomes.
When did Lamar beat Pat
Oh
Mahomes
no,
in the
Josh
playoffs?
Allen beat him. Josh Allen beat him this year in the regular season. I was talking all time account.
Oh,
All right, but
I
he
was
has.
confused
But
where you're going.
well, hold on. How many times has Lamar beaten Patrick in regular and playoffs?
Jalen Hurts
Once.
and Joe Burrow have both beaten
I'm not making
Pat
this whole-
Mahomes. No,
Right.
Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson have not. So Jalen Hurts, in your mindset, should be above Lamar Jackson.
No, we're not
And
talking
Josh
about
Allen.
the measuring
Better
point isn't
season.
beating Patrick Mahomes.
I'm talking about this season.
Bro. The reason why Joe Burrow's top 5 still is because he had a bad defense and he went to the Super Bowl 3 years ago. That's the only reason why people have him top 5.
He's still doing his job as the fucking QB is throwing over like what, almost 5,000 yards.
Jameis Winston throw over 5,000 yards. You know why he threw 5,000 yards? Because you're behind. When you have to throw when you're a 5,000 plus yard passing
And
quarterback,
Jalen
it's
Hurts'
usually because you're
offense
behind.
also is not a throwing. Therefore, as the whole argument over QB wise, I will take Joe Burrow, who's going to air that fucking ball out to my wide receivers, than Jalen Hurts, who is either going to push or give it to
He
Saquon.
ain't doing enough to win.
Who? Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow.
His defense has been down all
He ain't doing
season.
enough to win.
Eagles have had the best defense, which we have all agreed with.
He ain't doing enough to win.
Dude, Joe Burrow's 38-30 in the NFL. 38 wins and 30 losses.
That's right.
And he's top.
Joe Burrow didn't do nearly enough to win and manage the game as good
And
as
then
Jalen
also,
Hurts.
too, though, you're talking about Joe Burrow performs more because he went to the Super Bowl than Josh Allen in playoffs. Joe Burrow only has 9 career passing touchdowns in the playoffs. Career touchdowns in general.
Mhm.
Josh Allen has over 25.
I said that because you know how fucking insane you
But
sound
no.
saying Joe Burrow is
Joe-
a lesser quarterback than Jalen Hurts. That sounds fucking insane. It's me
I
saying
guarantee you,
that
Jalen
Josh
Hurts
Allen
I
is
guarantee you.
worse than Joe Burrow.
Jalen
That
Hurts
sounds
might be the
insane.
greatest game
I
manager.
guarantee you, Jalen Hurts probably has more career
Jalen Hurts might be the
touchdowns than
greatest
Joe
game
Burrow in the
manager.
playoffs.
Jalen Hurts is the greatest game.
Do you want to
manager.
take that bet? Do you want to take that bet? I guarantee you, Jalen Hurts in the playoffs / Super Bowl combined postseason
Okay.
has more total touchdowns than Joe Burrow.
Total touchdowns?
Yes.
Oh, I assume so.
Why don't you put your money where your mouth is next season? Joe Burrow versus Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
Take that then.
I'll
Since
say
now-
Joe
Yeah,
Burrow.
Jalen Hurts.
Since-
Yeah.
Since now you're a Jalen Hurts fan.
No, you got to give him again. I can't be. If I said
I'm
on the
not a
pod, right,
fan.
I'm not a fan. But if I said the biggest problem me with Jalen Hurts is that he does not throw over 200 yards, and then after that statement, 2 games, NFC Championship and the Super Bowl back to back, he goes over 200 yards. I can't sit up here and say, "Well, I need to see more." So
So recency
because then you guys
bias.
are going to clown me for that.
So recency bias.
Am I wrong? No. If I would have stood up
No,
here and said, "I
stand
need to see
10
more,"
toes down on what
No.
you believe in and say
I agree.
Jalen Hurts fucking sucks.
he meant what I
That's
told
you
I
wanna
had to say. What I said I need him to do, he's did. Am I not wrong, Timmy?
No.
If I would have stood up and said I needed to see
Yeah.
more, if I needed to see more from Jalen Hurts,
You asked
I
to
would've
see
got
more,
clowned.
and that man sat in that interview and said, "That's what y'all wanted to see."
and he did it. So why can I not?
Right.
I gotta give him flowers.
because y'all waited to give him his flowers the last
Next
2 games
season.
after.
So you're
it was
hating on
done.
me for
Next
Jalen
season.
Hurts proving us wrong?
Next season.
We told y'all.
They must be
You're
honest.
putting Joe Burrow on your
Hey,
stop
pedestal,
being-
man.
They're on the
Matt,
same line.
They hating because we're admitting our
No, no,
our
yes,
wrong.
I'm admitting I was wrong.
I'm
This-
wrong. I admit it.
This
Y'all
is-
hating on
no,
us.
this
for
is
it.
our argument. Is all season we told y'all what he was.
We just said Joe
listen, no,
Burrow
no,
wasn't.
listen.
wasn't
We
a-
said
good
Jalen Hurts is
quarterback.
here. We said Jalen Hurts is here. While y'all said he was here. So our argument was always Jalen Hurts is here.
Mhm.
Y'all said he was here. He now just won the Super Bowl. We are saying that he's still here,
Yes.
and y'all are now putting him all the way up here.
Or because the difference
That is
is
our argument.
Exactly.
Now y'all done
He
went
beat
from
an elite
No.
quarterback in the
This
Super
is the
Bowl.
difference. Because the problem is a lot of people have Joe Burrow here, and I have Joe Burrow here. Though that's the difference. I'm saying Jalen Hurts, I respect more,
I'm
and
not
I like
saying-
Jalen Hurts as a winner and a gamer better than Joe Burrow. I've said how many years, 2 years down the road, that I think Joe Burrow is one of the most overrated players almost for how much credit he gets for one Super Bowl appearance.
Joe Burrow is not an elite
He does not
quarterback.
consistently
He
do it
is
every
not
year.
an elite
Bro,
quarterback.
Lamar,
say that.
Lamar consistently
There's
does
only
it.
3.
Lamar consistently does it. Patty consistently does it.
Yes.
Allen consistently does it. Jalen Hurts now has proven he consistently does it. Joe Burrow has not proven that he consistently does it. There's
If it-
always an excuse for
If
Joe
it
Burrow.
wasn't for the Ravens turning around the last end of the season with our defense, we would have been in the same boat as the Bengals. Now,
No.
none of y'all would have kept the same argument for Lamar Jackson as you did for Joe Burrow. Because if we weren't in playoffs, Lamar does not get MVP nod.
He doesn't.
He does
No.
not get MVP nod. The same thing as
No.
Joe Burrow.
And he wouldn't have gotten it. He wouldn't have got MVP not if he
So
wasn't
then
in
we,
the playoff.
so then you would have
contention.
then dropped Lamar out of your top 5 going off this season, right?
Going off this season. If again,
If you can admit that
Yes.
you would then
No.
drop
no,
Lamar out
no,
of
no.
your top
But
5
also
because of this season's stats.
the slight differences too. And this is my
Second-
this is my slight difference with Joe Burrow. When he turned the ball over this year, yes, it wasn't as much as Lamar. When he turned it over, it was in crucial moments.
That's-
Lamar did not put the
You are
ball
right
in
on
harm's
that.
way
You're on
in
right-
crucial
you're right on
moments. Now, if Lamar had the stats he had this year, but turned the ball over in the fourth quarter, which turned the tide of the game and cost the game, as well as having a bad defense, I would have dropped Lamar down.
Right.
That's
The way I'm
that's
looking-
fair.
The way I'm looking at the
If
top
he-
5 quarterback rankings is like Lamar's better than Josh Allen. Lamar's better than Patrick Mahomes. Lamar's better than Joe Burrow.
Yes.
And I can do that for all of them, right?
Mhm.
And then when I look at, is Jalen Hurts better than Joe Burrow? Yes. Is JD5 better than Joe Burrow? Yes. Is JD5 better than Jalen Hurts? Debate, but they're up in my top 5 now.
Would you say is Stroud better than Jalen Hurts?
Stroud
Because Stroud
is
just
bet-
last season also had the best rookie quarterback year.
Mhm.
Followed up with a sophomore slump, still put up great numbers. He didn't do as well as he did the previous season, still put up great numbers, and then balled the fuck out in the playoffs.
right. I gotta put
So
Stroud
Again,
isn't in my
on
top
that,
5.
I didn't put Stroud top 5 because I didn't think his stats were
Because
that.
this
He had a
season-
great rookie year, but he
even-
didn't have overwhelming
With-
stats.
with-
But hold on, the difference between the difference between JD's rookie season and CJ Stroud's. You have to add CJ Stroud had a great rookie season. With JD, all you got to say is he had a great season. You don't have to add the rookie part to emphasize how good of a year he had.
What do you
had-
mean? He
if
took
you
the
took
dumbass Houston Texans
But
to
if
the
you took-
fucking playoffs.
I'm talking about as an individual player.
But he had more weapons this season than his rookie
But what
season
I'm
and
saying-
did worse.
All right, better
No.
weapons. Nico Collins wasn't that big of a name until last season. What's
CJ
I'm not arguing the
CJ
weapons.
made
I'm arguing
made
the
made
defense.
Nico
He made 10.
and made 10. Neither one of those were big names.
No.
Made 10.
We knew who Scary Terry
No,
was.
they weren't big names just because they were young and we didn't know what they were gonna do.
So
But
then,
Scary, you
that's
can
the
argue
same
that Scary
argument.
Terry's had an underwhelming career.
Yeah,
in
they
the
were.
NFL.
They've
I
already
said they were
played.
young and we didn't know what they were gonna do.
But first off, you can argue
CJ
that
Stroud made them better.
you can argue that Scary Terry's had an underwhelming career in the NFL, even though he's talented, but from a production standpoint, because of his quarterback play. But my point I'm trying to make is to go back to the rookie season, about how you said CJ Stroud had the greatest rookie season until JD this year, right?
Yes.
You had to add the rookie part to CJ Stroud
We
season to
still-
intensify.
We
you don't.
still add JD.
You do,
We say rookie
but
season
what I'm
because
saying
he
is
didn't be better than the top
But
4
what
people
I'm-
ahead of
what
him.
I'm
So
saying
then
is
that
you
doesn't
can
make sense.
say
It's
JD
still a rookie season.
You don't need to add it to intensify how great of a year JD had. You can get that away and still look at JD's performance and say he had a great year. If you didn't add the rookie part to CJ Stroud last year, he had a mediocre type year almost because he had a great defense.
He still was one of the. What are you talking? He was one of the top 10
yeah,
higher
top
up on
10.
the list. The same thing
We're
as
talking
JD.
top
Great, he's
five.
just not top 5.
We're not talking top 10. We're talking top 5. We're talking top 10. I'll give
So
it
where
to
would you have Stroud last year?
last year 23-5. I'd put him outside the top 5, probably around
The
between 7 and
same
8.
where he's at again.
I would have if y'all don't have that man Stroud top 5 or 6 last season when he
All right, name
had,
your top 5 last season.
let's
See, you don't even know how to do the top
because
5.
my top 5 is
last
gonna be the same that was this season.
Okay,
Y'all
so
keep
why are you
changing.
saying Stroud's top 5? if
Because
he
I
wasn't
had
in your top
Stroud
5
at
this
5
season?
or 6.
But you had
last
Stroud in
season.
top 5 this year.
No, what I'm
But you
saying
just said you're the same as last year.
y'all keep changing your argument. What I'm saying is
Exactly.
JD5 had the same season that we are all claiming Stroud had last year. Y'all did not have him 5.
Yep.
This season y'all have him 5 and won't put Hurts above him.
He did worse this season than last season.
But it's also about watching.
Last season, Stroud put up the same type of season, and y'all are not putting him at the high. Y'all are not putting him at the same standards as y'all are JD5. This man just said you have to put rookie in front of it to make it impressive.
Yes. Yeah. If you don't,
He
add
was
the
one of
rookie,
the
put him
top quarterbacks in the league as a rookie without even saying he was a rookie. But now you're going to take
I'm
take
not
that away from
discrediting what I'm
Stroud.
saying. But
You
I'm saying,
did because you said you have to add
if you
rookie
watch,
in front of
if
it.
you watch the game,
Bro, you keep changing your arguments. You literally took away. You said you have to add rookie to make it impressive.
yes.
So now you're trying to say you're not taking away from Stroud, yet you just did the sentence before.
I'm just saying if
You say you don't need to say rookie for JD5.
it doesn't.
But
You
you
don't
need
feel like
to
you
for
have to. It
Stroud.
has a different feeling.
When
I'm
just
just
last
saying it has a different feeling.
feel like we're in a circle.
Yeah.
You're telling me right now you don't think JD's here. Watching JD play and what he did had a different feeling than what CJ Stroud did last
I
year.
think Jaden Daniels is an overall better quarterback. than
Yeah,
CJ
I'm not saying he's not.
But that's not what he's
5 is
arguing
better.
about.
My argument is we just had the same argument last year. Stroud put up the best numbers ever, and you didn't have him at 5. But
Because-
now this season, JD5 just surpassed it, not by much, and the argument is automatic top 5.
Because I personally thought other quarterbacks played better last year. Dak Prescott had a phenomenal year when he was healthy last
He
year.
had an MVP year.
He had an MVP year. He was above CJ Stroud last year, was he not? Is Dak Prescott above anyone this year? No, because he got hurt. Matt Stafford had a great year last year.
No.
Baker Mayfield, maybe not Matt Stafford. I gotta go back to that. Baker Mayfield, I know for sure had a great year last year too.
Okay.
You wouldn't put Baker Mayfield's year last year above CJ Stroud's, maybe?
Are you
I
No,
don't
no,
think
you
he-
wouldn't put
back
last year. I don't
back to
put
where this
Baker
whole argument
above-
started? David gave y'all for their careers. He said the top 3 elites:
Yeah.
Burrow, Hurts.
It's a 3-headed dragon. That's it. That's all.
I mean,
the
Burrow
other,
and then
the
you
other
had
quarterbacks are on the
5.
same level.
Right, I agree.
Like
But-
Hurts and Burrow on that same tier.
The
You
But
But
guys
not.
won.
They,
Won.
Burrow
But they're
does
on that
not
same
win. Burrow does not
Football's
win.
about winning, not just like stats.
I'm
Yeah,
happy
right.
y'all.
But what I'm saying
Yeah,
is,
wrap this
but
thing
hold
up.
on. Compared to his peers, Lamar's had multiple seasons where he's had mediocre stats from a passing standpoint to his peers, but still is held higher. Not just because they're rushing, but because what do you argue with me all the time about Lamar? He's the most winning quarterback in the regular season all the time.
Mhm.
Because you put so much on winning.
Okay.
So why are we not keeping the same energy for Hurts?
Y'all just jumped on the Hurts bandwagon when he won the Super Bowl. You didn't
Because he
hold it
proved
to
us
he
wrong.
proved us
Y'all said
He
winning
proved
matters.
us wrong.
He won all fucking season, and y'all did not say the same shit. Y'all are changing your energy now that they
No.
won a Super Bowl.
What if Trevor Lawrence won the Super Bowl?
Bro, like
what are
y'all,
we saying?
that's our whole
But-
argument.
but-
Is y'all keep flip
No,
What if
because
CJ
if
Stroud
I
won the Super
promise
Bowl?
you-
What are we saying?
There's no
Watch
way.
the last
If-
podcast
if
and
I
what they
would've-
said.
If I would have came on this pod after Jalen Hurts checked all my boxes in the last 2 games and said, I need to see more from Jalen Hurts, I would have got clowned for that.
Real quick.
You got to give him his flowers for doing what
Jalen
he
Hurts
did.
has the same stats, performs the same exact way, comes up short, 3 points, Chiefs win.
He's not even
What
top
happens?
10. He's not even
What
top
happens?
10. He didn't
Where
win.
Yo,
is
he'll be
Jalen
top
Hurts?
Where is Jalen Hurts?
Where he might be top 10, but is he in the top 5? Where's Jalen Hurts?
So after seeing Washington and
he's-
after seeing the Chiefs
No, he's
game,
saying he
yes.
came up short in the Chiefs game. And
No,
they
no,
lost
no,
by 3 points.
comes up short. in
He's
the
putting out
Chiefs.
hypotheticals, which he hates doing hypotheticals.
I do
Right.
hate them.
And now he's doing a
I'm not
hypothetical.
entertaining a hypothetical. I was saying, okay, the Eagles had a great record.
Yes.
I was saying most of that contributed
Yes.
to Saquon, right?
Yes.
Okay. Playoffs come. I'm like, oh, Saquon's going to carry.
Okay.
I don't believe in
Okay.
Jalen Hurts.
Now
right?
listen to what you
Right,
said.
right,
Listen
right.
to what you just said.
I don't
you
believe
just
in
said Saquon carried. You just said that.
Right.
Yes.
I
You didn't
wasn't
say
giving
Jalen
enough credit.
Hurts.
Let
You didn't say
me-
Jalen Hurts.
Let me finish.
David.
I was saying the amount of success wasn't all on Jalen Hurts. I was saying Saquon carried, right?
Uh-huh.
We get into playoffs where
Yes.
it matters most.
Yes.
They go against Washington. I'm like, in order to beat Washington,
You gotta-
Saquon's going
you
to have to
gotta
carry.
stop Saquon. And, or
Right.
Yes,
And force
yes,
Jalen Hurts to throw.
yes.
He did that.
Okay.
Saquon proved me wrong, and I said that on the
Yes,
podcast.
yes.
Actually, now
I
that I
did
think
say
about
it on the podcast.
Last pod, your main points though was the Philly defense. Your
Bro,
main
you
point
just
was,
clicked that. I also
that was
said,
the main point though.
bro, you can go back in that podcast, and I said Saquon was not a factor.
Okay,
He
but-
didn't have over
okay,
60
okay.
rushing
You did,
yards.
but you didn't. I don't remember you including
Go back
that
into the pod.
Jalen
Yeah.
Hurts.
Okay.
No, I
Oh,
did.
well,
Listen to what you
No,
said.
I did say that.
Listen to what you said. Now, do you think Jalen Hurts had any reason the Eagles won in any regular season games?
Yes, to some extent.
Probably.
some
because I
extent,
didn't watch
but
all
But
the
when
games.
when Saquon's rushing for over 100 every game, and AJ Brown's stats are down, Devontae Smith stats
Okay.
are down, Goddard stats are down,
Okay.
like
And when
You
they
gotta
were
shift-
frustrated,
you gotta
all
shift
said
it.
he's a
Wait,
shit
hold on.
quarterback that
That's
can't
the whole.
throw.
That's the whole argument. You just said all those things. All of these wide receiver stats are down. Saquon's carrying. How the fuck is Hurts in your top 5 QBs this season?
Who do
If
you
he
put
didn't-
above him?
If he didn't throw the fucking ball all season,
they won.
Exactly.
They were winning.
Oh
They-
my
so we're
fucking
putting game
God.
managers at the top of the league.
He's controlling the
That's
game
been-
and winning.
You
But
got
hold on,
Hey,
hold on.
you got- you
No,
got-
no, we're not doing this because that's the biggest for
You got-
besides this year though, and Lamar's first MVP year. Let's keep it a buck. The biggest argument for Lamar being a top 3 quarterback every year is because he's the most winning, and then he doesn't have a lot of talent a lot of times. But again, his stats, if you go
Bro.
solely off the stats, They are mediocre to his peers
Bro,
a
it's
lot of
Lamar
years.
Jackson and Jalen Hurts. Don't get it twisted.
I'm not getting it twisted, but I'm just saying it's the same energy.
Y'all still
He
not
has-
letting me finish though.
Go ahead,
No,
finish
no,
what you gotta say.
Literally, you can backtrack on the pods. I give Jalen Hurts his flowers.
I'm gonna give
And
him-
before the
that's fine.
Washington
I
game,
respect
needed
it.
to.
on the Washington game, I said, they're gonna force Saquon to not do his thing. Jalen Hurts is gonna have to prove he's a passer. He does that, and I said he did well.
It took one game. It
It
took
didn't
one
This
take
took
game.
the
multiple
games that
games.
matters the most.
It took one game.
I was sleeping.
It took
I
one
was
game for you to say a
sleeping.
quarterback
But
is
that's
top
It's
all
not
right.
five
even
in
a
the
sleep
league.
more.
Right.
It's just you got to give credit because
Right.
there's no way I'm
But
gonna
that
sit up
just
here.
blows my
But what I'm
mind.
saying is, there's no way I can sit up here after Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl, been to 2, and say I think CJ Stroud's better. There's no way I can sit here and say I think. There's no way I can sit there and say I think Baker's better, or there's no way I can say I think Joe Burrow is better because Joe Burrow does not do anything.
And then-
But
you
if
put
you're going
Lamar,
off
you
that,
put
Lamar's
Lamar
already been to the Super
Jackson
Bowl.
on that
Look.
offense with the Cincinnati Bengals this year. Regardless how bad the defense is, they
Yes,
make the playoffs.
Yes.
If you
Yeah,
put
that's
Josh
the
Allen,
difference.
regardless, they make the playoffs.
You're
Patrick
naming
Mahomes,
elites.
go
You're
regardless.
naming elites. You
Yeah.
put Jalen Hurts on that offense.
Listen.
They're not doing shit.
Yeah,
Well,
neither one.
Listen,
But we're not arguing elite. They're in the same realm. Jalen Hurts gets the nod because he wins.
Bro,
the
listen,
top three,
and
the top
listen.
three. Anybody else, if you win, you're above. It's
Listen.
about when you win.
Listen. I'm gonna say this as well. As much as I was putting Saquon as the main contributing factor for the Eagles' success and for Jalen Hurts to do what he did against Washington on a big stage, and then in the Super Bowl on a big stage, and Saquon not being a factor at all,
Mhm.
and Jalen Hurts still putting up over 30 points, throwing, doing his thing, rushing more than Saquon. As much as I was holding Saquon to that high pedestal of the Eagles' success, I would be wrong to sit up in here and not give Jalen Hurts his credit.
That's what I'm saying. You
Eli
can't
Manning won Super Bowl MVP. Was he a top
And-
5 quarterback anytime
And
in
I'm
his
saying,
career? Fuck no.
and I'm saying
no.
this season, after it's all said and done,
So he's the best.
J-
If that's
Jalen
the
Hurts-
argument. If that's the argument.
So
he's the
all
best this
things
season.
can no,
So-
I'm saying all things considered, this season I have Jalen Hurts in the top 5 and Joe Burrow's not in the top 5. We just went over last pod that Joe Burrow is not elite. He's not a great quarterback,
Yes.
and he hasn't done much besides
But
go
you don't
have
You
have
even
to
said
be
he was
so
overrated.
You don't
So
have
why
to-
are
How
you
can-
guys
how
throwing
can-
us a fit?
How
over
about
this?
how can we say?
I'm
But David,
standing on my-
David, how can you agree with me last pod saying Joe Burrow? No, but how
Yeah,
can you
lead or
agree?
top 3.
But how can you say Joe Burrow? You're agreeing with me that Joe Burrow to an extent is overrated last pod.
Yes.
How
He
can you
is.
say a guy is overrated but then not above the person who won the Super Bowl?
He's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts.
That doesn't. It's about results.
Well, if that
What-
is your argument, Jalen Hurts is better than Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson because he won a Super
Results.
Bowl.
No,
That's your
I'm
guys'
talking-
argument. Is
no,
he's been a winning QB.
I'm talking about this season and comparing what I
Okay,
think
so
about
When's the
Jalen
last
Hurts.
time Joe
so
Burrow's even been
this-
relevant in
so-
the
and
playoffs?
Jalen
This
Hurts-
season,
But
he
again,
is better than Lamar.
now you just have
and
to-
Josh Allen.
It's
No.
been 3
No.
years.
One.
But no, but hold on,
No.
listen. There's been 3 years now since Joe Burrow's even been relevant in the postseason.
I'm comparing Jalen Hurts to
So why is
Joe
he still
Burrow.
top 5?
And we know that Lamar,
Because
Joe
he's
Burrow,
not
and
elite,
Patrick
but he's still
Mahomes
better
are
than
better
those
than
quarterbacks.
4 through 32. We
You
know
don't
that.
have to be like you have.
But I'm
you're
saying
elite
Joe
in
Burrow
top 3. Then it goes
And
Joe
Jalen
Burrow.
Hurts, I'm
And then
swapping
it's down
them
the line.
out of my top, swapping Jalen Hurts in the top 4 or 5 and taking Joe Burrow out. I don't know what's the big deal. I admitted my fault.
We're giving Jalen
I
Hurts his
said
flowers.
I respected it. That's fine. I don't agree with it.
But what does Joe Burrow do besides throw a bunch of passing yards and touchdowns and miss the playoffs?
He plays quarterback.
He misses the playoffs.
He plays quarterback.
He misses the playoffs.
and he plays
He
quarterback.
throws interceptions to cost games.
He
every
had
whole
the
time.
worst defense compared
You
to
put
the
him-
we
Eagles
just
number
talked about
one.
this.
You take
But-
Jalen Hurts.
Dude,
you
do
put
we
him
not
on the
agree?
Bengals, do they win more
No,
games?
no,
Do they
no, no.
lose more
Do we
games?
not agree? At least
They
2 out
lose
of
more
3
games.
games that Cincinnati lost this year was because Joe Burrow threw interceptions at the end of the game. Interceptions, when you throw them, matter.
Hurts don't throw interceptions because he don't throw the fucking ball all game.
You're
That
right.
was your whole argument. Is he
You're
don't throw
right.
the fucking ball. So how's he the
But
top
now,
5 QB?
all right, so now we're just basing off the quarterback position off of if you can throw or not.
Yeah, that's all we're
No,
saying
my
now
whole
because
thing
it's
is though
just
is we're talking
Then
about
Lamar and Joe Burrow shouldn't be in the top
the
5.
difference is
Joe Burrow should be number
Lamar
1
still
with Patrick
outthrows
Mahomes.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts by a lot. He outthrows Jalen Hurts by a lot.
But that doesn't matter.
Lamar
man.
Jackson outthrows Jalen Hurts by a lot.
Bro,
They're
the
not
quarterback
on the same
position
First
is not
off,
based
hold on,
off
hold
of
on,
who
hold
can
on.
throw better
Hold on,
right
hold on,
now
hold on.
anymore.
First off, you talk about how Lamar outthrows him by a lot. Last year and this year.
Go
is
off
every-
this year.
No,
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 y'all
no.
keep saying this fucking
You
year
just said a
is the
lot.
top. Go off this year because y'all keep saying this year.
You're
Jalen
just
Hurts is
saying
top
career
five.
lot wise though.
We'll go year by year. Go year by year.
But you just said a career
Go
lot there.
year
So
by
we're
year.
year by year. Yeah.
Year by year.
And then where's Lamar for me?
We'll look at
Above
year
Jalen Hurts.
We'll do year by year.
Bro, listen.
But what I'm saying is, if we're going by year, and you're saying that Lamar throws a lot more than Jalen Hurts from a year by year standpoint,
A
he's
lot
not-
more fucking yards.
Yeah, a
The
lot more
yards are
yards.
not even comparable.
No.
What are we talking about? You and nonsense.
Lamar has
because you
hold on,
you
hold on,
bring
hold
up
on,
every
no,
podcast,
because
bro.
you're saying yards
Yo.
from a career standpoint. Lamar, 3 years in a row, besides last year, were under 3,000. He was under 3,000 for 3 years in a row.
Jalen Hurts.
That's what I'm saying. So you can't sit here and say that Lamar's from a passing yards is so much more because of 1 year of throwing much more. 2 years, 2 years.
He also rushes more.
But you're arguing the passing yards. That's what we're talking. If we're again,
You're
Lamar's
trying to put Jalen
number
Hurts up here
one.
with Lamar. It's not.
No, I'm
it's
not saying that.
happening.
I'm disputing the argument saying that, well, Lamar throws so much more. Lamar doesn't throw so much more from a career standpoint.
We're talking about yards. He blows Jalen out of the fucking water. What are we
We're
talking
talking about
about?
comparing it to peers. You were never argued that Lamar Jackson throws more yards besides this year,
Okay,
drastically more.
here we go.
No, because let's keep it a buck. When you combine Lamar's passing and rushing yards, they were still less than Dak Prescott's total yards last year.
Dak Prescott sucks dick.
But I'm just
He
saying the
fucking
whole
sucks.
yard argument is terrible.
Dak Prescott sucks when playing against winning teams. Okay.
I'm just saying we put Lamar in this conversation multiple years when he does not have a great passing year because he runs and he wins.
Yes.
So why is
And
it
passes him.
why is so atrocity to put Jaden Hurts not above Lamar or even in the top
Well,
three?
because the years
but
you keep
above
talking
Joe
about,
Burrow.
oh, he ran more. Lamar was a top running back yard wise. Jalen Hurts ain't even fucking sniffing that shit.
I'm just addressing your passing yards. That's all I'm saying.
And you're talking about this
Lamar's
year.
is better.
Yeah, like
Lamar's has
bro,
better.
Yeah, and I'm having Lamar at the top, but
But
I'm
you're
just
talking-
saying.
You're talking just this.
I'm talking about from a
That's
top
your
five
complete
conversation.
argument.
No,
Your
I'm talking about from a
argument
top
is
five
this.
conversation, right? 1 year it's all about the yardage.
Mhm.
1 year is not all about the yardage. That's all I'm saying. This year
You said it's
apparently
about
is not all
winning.
about the
You said
yardage
it's
now.
about winning.
No, but what I'm saying is now it's all
But
about the
your
yardage.
argument is about winning.
Yes, and there's been
Okay.
years where it's all about winning.
But your argument
Now it's different this
today is about winning. That's been your number
Consistency
one
over
thing.
the multiple
Jalen
years now.
Hurts has won the Super Bowl.
Consistency over the last few years.
Recency bias.
Consistency over the last few years.
Me and him know who Jalen Hurts is. I've seen Jalen Hurts win a national championship.
We know.
I've seen Jalen Hurts go to a Super Bowl and lose.
We know.
And I liked him the entire way. I supported him. Right?
Yeah.
Just like how you support Josh Allen never going to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right?
Just like we support Lamar never going to a Super Bowl,
You're gonna
right?
get crucified for that.
I'm just saying, like you're using the Super Bowl argument.
we're also
But-
Ravens fans.
But
Right.
what I'm,
You're a Josh
Bro,
Allen
but I
fan.
could give a fuck less about Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts. I'm just saying Jalen Hurts
That's
this
what I'm
season
saying.
Joe Burrow
was better than
talent-wise,
Jalen
is a
Hurts.
terrible
But the
more
whole
talented
argument we're
quarterback.
trying to have with y'all is just
He's a
you
better
never held Hurts
He
to
has
these
better
standards or
vision.
never held him up there.
yeah, we
And
got
then-
crucified for it, and then when you pick
By
the biggest
who?
game,
But
by you guys,
because we already had Hurts at this
We
standard.
have a
You
Hurts
didn't.
at a certain
because he
level,
wasn't there
and y'all
yet.
just went
I'm
from
sorry.
here to fucking
Yeah, our
here.
thing is y'all just jumped him.
But first off, how's it a
Spots.
crazy jump from being in the bottom
in 6,
Bottom-
7,
We
bottom of the
knew
top
that
10
he was
to the
a
bottom of the top
10
5?
quarterback. We
No, I
knew
said he
it.
was top
Right, we
10.
all agreed he was top 10.
I
I'm
said
moving
he was
him-
winning the Super Bowl. I said he was winning Super Bowl.
I'm
MVP.
moving to the back end of
exactly.
10 to the back end of 5, and it's like, oh my god, Matt, you're a bandwagoner now. He went from 8 to 5.
How is it a bandwagon to move a guy from
7 to 8
proving
to
me
5.
wrong
Listen,
from
listen.
3
listen,
slots?
Listen.
How
Bills
am
is
I
7, 8 to
wrong?
5.
How am I
Go
wrong?
reverse. Bills go to the Super Bowl instead of the Chiefs. Bills win the Super Bowl. I say Josh Allen is probably the best quarterback in the NFL. What are y'all doing to me? This fucking thing right here. That's not happening.
Listen. I'm gonna say
That's
this.
not
I'm gonna say this.
But
though.
no
Look.
one's saying Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback. We're
Right.
saying he's better than Joe Burrow.
But there's
You're
like-
changing
listen,
the
listen,
argument
listen, listen.
to the best quarterback
I'm
now.
jumping quarterbacks.
Because if Josh Allen goes to win the
I'm not
Super
saying
Bowl with the
Jalen Hurts
Bills,
is the best
I already have him above Joe Burrow,
I-
and he still stays above Joe
I
Burrow.
Listen,
didn't say
and also-
Josh Allen was the best quarterback. I didn't say Jalen Hurts was the best quarterback.
You just
didn't-
used that as an
You
argument.
didn't say Jalen Hurts was the best quarterback.
But you just
I'm
used his
moving
argument.
him. I'm moving Josh. Josh Allen's obviously 2 or 3. Yes.
Yes.
He's going to move up
But
because Jalen Hurts is moving
But
up.
there's a difference from moving
Like,
from 3 to 1 because you're into the elite of the elite versus from 7 or 8 to 5.
Josh Allen wins a Super Bowl. Where's he ranked? Where is it?
Probably number 2.
You'll say he's number 1. Don't
No,
fucking lie.
no, you
Fucking
can't.
lie
No,
to me.
Yes,
no,
he
because
is.
Patrick Mahomes
I'm
is
gonna
still
tell you.
up for number one.
I'm gonna tell you all this right
No,
now.
this season, not career-wise. This season.
This season,
This season is Josh Allen number
I
1
still put him
quarterback.
number
He
2.
wins a Super Bowl. He beats Lamar Jackson. He beats Patrick Mahomes. He beats your prodigy quarterback, Jalen Hurts. What does he rank?
He's still number 2 behind Lamar.
You're fucking tripping.
Like I said,
Nah,
I
you
stood
would
on
put him
this.
at number 1.
You
No,
would have came in with
no,
Josh
no,
Allen
no,
jersey on.
no.
Look,
We
I'm gonna say
smoking
this.
that
I'm gonna
Lamar.
say this.
No.
Regarding this Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts argument, if Joe Burrow next year were to win a Super Bowl, I'm putting him above Jalen Hurts.
Okay, I respect that.
Okay,
If Jalen
yeah.
Hurts goes back to back, or at least sniffs the NFC Championship game and plays great like he did the last
Like, I'm not
2 games
No,
that he's
actually-
only played good in this season, then
Actually-
yes, he moves into the top 5. But right now, he's at number 6 on my list.
Actually, like Jalen Hurts would have to look bad for me to move from below Joe Burrow now. I'm gonna be honest.
What?
Because I'm not a Joe Burrow guy.
Described him all season that he wasn't good, and now
Because
all of a
he's
sudden,
been- but again, it's a tapestry of consistency
all right,
over years.
shut it down, shut it down, shut it down.
It's a tapestry of consistency. Because then I'm gonna get crucified for moving Joe Burrow up.
We're
When,
gonna end
when
it
I
here.
was no. Joe Burrow for the last 3 years has been overrated. I've given Jalen Hurts the flowers that he wins.
No, he did it.
That he
till
wins.
now.
Wins games.
And on that, what are we doing? We're signing off.
Yeah.
I'm Dave. This
I'm
is
Matt.
Matt, Timmy, Brian, and we're ending it. Brew Crew out.